Aurora University Television proudly presents Spartan Football. Hello everybody, I'm Steve Moga along with Chris Klavinsky, as today the Spartans host the Falcons of Concordia University from Wisconsin. Right now you see the captains at midfield for our coin toss, and looked like somebody there deferred. I didn't catch that real quick, Chris, but this is going to be a great battle here today as these two teams come in a lot on the line.
Well, this has playoff implications for sure. If Aurora wins, they win the conference and an automatic playoff berth. If Concordia wins, then we got a problem there. They're tied for the conference, and Concordia is -4 for the playoffs, and Aurora is +6. So, from what I understand, Concordia has to win by 10 or more to get the actual playoff berth.
Well, the thing about this, we've been leading up to this game. We thought all season long this was going to be the big showdown, and it certainly has played out that way. The Spartans, though, had to sweat it out a little bit the last couple of weeks. A couple close victories, 24-17 over McMurray, and then last week the Spartans held on 20-19 at Greenville to set things up for us here today. The Spartans at 6-0 in the Illini-Badger Conference. Concordia is 5-1, and Benedictine is also 5-1. Of course, the Eagles' lone loss in the conference is to the Spartans, a 12-6 game, so there's that 6-point differential you talked about. Concordia's lone loss is to Benedictine, and that was a 24-20 game, and I'll tell you what, a very close game to say the least. The Benedictine scored with 2.5 minutes to go in that game. Concordia got the football back, got to the Benedictine 20-yard line, had a 3rd and 5 and threw an incompletion, and a 4th and 5, also an incompletion, and that was pretty much it. That was the lowest passing total of the season for these Falcons. They like to pass the football, don't they?
They are a passing team. They've had 4+ 250-yard passing games, or 5 out of their 8 games are 250 yards. They've had 2 300 passing yard games, a 296 passing yard game. They're going to come out shooting. They're going to come out shooting hard, and Spartans just got to be ready for it. They got to be here to play.
You mentioned those numbers: 344 against Beloit, 340 yards versus Eureka, 296 versus Lakeland. Their lowest passing total of the season, 137 versus Benedictine. Of course, their only loss. But they made the 2-hour drive down here from the north suburbs of Milwaukee this morning. A beautiful, bright, sunny day here at Aurora University. We're ready, just about ready for our kickoff here. And the Spartans are going to kick to the Falcons. Aurora will defend the north goal. And we talk about that passing attack. It's Tim Polasek, who we're going to see here, the quarterback. He is currently number 10 in the nation in Division III football in passing efficiency, and he's thrown for over 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, averaging 200+ yards passing a game.
And when you look,
he's got some great targets as well. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, when you look into that, at those stats, it's huge. Greenville's quarterback is the only guy who tops him in our conference, and with a team like the Spartans, which is a running game, big passing team could be a big problem for them.
Here's kickoff, taking a stumble and falling and down.
Fumble.
Now the football is loose. The official did not blow the return man down. I'm not so sure. They're pointing Aurora football. Oh my goodness. Well, Mark Wadzinski stumbled on the return of that football, and it looked like he was down to a knee, but no whistle was blown, and he lost the handle of the football. The Spartans dove right in there, and Jeff Schroeder recovered it. Aurora U, 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
And Lady Luck seems to be on our side already today, and hopefully we can have more of that.
Well, I was going to have you read our starters on defense, but I guess we better go to the offensive side, huh?
There we go. Starting left tackle, Matt Hartzell. Left guard, Byron Miguel. Center, Toby Nickum. Right guard, Jeff Knapp. Right tackle, David Brummel. Tight end, Jeff Pfeiffer. Punter, Ryan Dexter.
There's a quick pitch to Mylan Jones. Bounces to the outside. He's going to get 7 quick yards. Go ahead. Continue.
Starting quarterback, freshman Garrett Meyer. Fullback, Joe Schmidt. Tailback, Mylan Jones. And wide receivers, Paulie Forsythe and Tyson LeBlanc. And Ryan Glab is our kicker today.
All righty, the Spartan starters on the offensive side of things. 9 yards are going to give him 2nd down and 1. The Spartans in business here. Opening seconds of our football game.
And this reminds me earlier the Benedictine game. When they came in, they played Benedictine, and kickoff, Benedictine fumbles. And that was a crazy game, to say the least.
Spartans looking to draw first blood as Mylan Jones gets the 1st down. And more inside the 10 to about the 5. 1st and goal for the Spartans. Again, we're live here from Aurora University here on Channel 17. Live broadcast of Division III college football, Aurora University and Concordia, Wisconsin. Handoff, bouncing out. The bounce out, a couple tacklers, close to the end zone, he's in! 5-yard touchdown run for Kyle Schrader.
And an early 6-0 lead off a fumble from a kickoff return, and the Spartans are ahead, and it looks like they're here to play today.
Well, that was the one thing that Jim Scott was not happy with the last 2 weeks. He said his team did not play with very much emotion, kind of went through the motions, as the saying is, and came away with a couple close victories, and said today they're going to have to come out with a little more intensity. Here's the extra point kick. Is up and good by Ryan Glab, so the Spartans jump out quickly here, the 7-0 lead.
And I talked to Jim Scott earlier this week on Spartan Spotlight. He said if his team's here to play today, they shouldn't have a problem winning. But if they come in and play like they've been playing, then they're going to have a really tough time of winning the game.
So the Spartans draw first blood in this pivotal game. Again, Aurora U beat Benedictine 12-6, and Concordia lost to Benedictine 24-20. And so the implications here are that the Spartans, to win the conference outright and win the postseason bid that comes with the conference title this year, they need to win this game today. If they lose this game, they need to lose by less than 5 points. If they lose by that margin, they're still in good shape, so to speak. They don't want to do that, though.
Yeah.
They don't want to back into the playoff picture, but that would be the situation.
Yeah, Jim Scott doesn't want that at all. On the show, he said it would be worthless for them to be in the playoffs if they lost this game, and he doesn't want something like that. He doesn't think the team would have earned it if they just came in and did something like that.
Here's another kickoff, the same spot, another slip this time, a different return man, Rustin Kluin, and he is buried at about the 21-22-yard line, which is where the Falcons will take over, and Chris will go ahead and give us their starters on offense. I'm sorry, our defense.
Our defense.
Then we'll get to their offense.
Our defensive line, Todd Basich, Joe Thompson, Corey Harris, and Jeremy Benson. Our linebackers are Brian Richter, Brendan Schweiner, and Jason Naraki. Cornerbacks, Martin Kern and Craig Vetter. Our free safety, Kip Daniels, and our strong safety, Tony Ruby.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Falcons. They're going to mark it at about the 23-yard line. Tim Polasek, quarterback, 2 wideouts to the top left. He's going to throw him quickly that way. Reception is good, diving around a couple defenders and getting some yardage out there.
And that's one of those huge Falcon receivers that they have on this team. They just come in with all these receptions.
Well, one of the guys we're going to hear a lot probably today, Brad Young on that reception. Young came into this game with 29 receptions on the season, 250 yards. Rustin Kluin also 33 receptions for 558 yards. And then the top guy, Aaron Paulin. Keep an eye out for number 88. He has hauled in 71 passes this year, 657 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's number 3 in the nation in that category in receptions. Looking again, looks right, throws left, back across the green. Oh, first down yardage and more there. And the ball pops free at the end, but the official is going to blow it dead. The Spartans trying to dive for it with that reception by Shane Morrison, a sophomore from Bigfoot High School in Sharon, Wisconsin.
And he hasn't been much of a factor in any of these Falcons games this season, but if we're going to be watching them other receivers who have such those big stats, he's probably going to have a good game here today.
Well, the Spartans gave up their, I shouldn't say gave up their biggest, actually, it was actually tied a record. They gave up 288 passing yards last week to Greenville, and that tied the most they've ever given up through the air. Benedictine did that against them several years ago, back in '92, I believe. Shotgun, throw across the middle, hit hard, and the ball pops free, and official's going to call incomplete. Huge hit right there. Richter with a huge hit for the Spartans.
And Aaron Powell just got hit hard, and he's just a little bit slow coming up, and he might be hurt here, and we don't like to see that.
We never want to see anybody get hurt. Indeed, I mean,
we do have an injury timeout.
He is down. Well, he got hit hard coming across that middle. Again, Aaron Powell, 71 receptions. That puts him 1 behind Darrell DeShields from Greenville. Now, DeShields last week had a pretty good game himself. 5 receptions for 54 yards and a couple touchdowns against Aurora U, but Shields is number 2 on the list with 72 receptions, and Nate Jackson from Menlo College out in California with 87 catches on the year, number 1 in the nation. So the Spartans continue to see some of the top receivers in D3 football this year. They've seen Sean Emerson from Illinois Wesleyan, he's number 20, and Eric Carlson from Bethel, Minnesota, also tied for 20th in the nation. Saw those guys early in the year, the first 2 games, and now here towards the latter part, they see a couple other guys at the top of the list.
And Aaron Pollen is off the field. He was being helped. He wasn't off on his own accord. He was walking a little bit, but which is good.
Well, he's seeing some stars over there in broad daylight, to say the least. He did walk off under his own power. That's a good sign. Here's a quick pitch to the right side, picking his way, and he's going to get some yardage. Out to the 40-yard line goes number 34,
Mark Wadzinski.
Mark Wadzinski, indeed. The sophomore from Roncalli High School in Manitowoc. I was in Manitowoc earlier this summer. Don't ask me to say that 3 times fast, however.
Is that a nice place up there?
A very nice area, right on the lake.
At least he comes from a nice neighborhood.
All right, it's going to be 3rd and about 6. Shotgun formation. Holisek, you think they're going to throw? How about it? Here he comes. Man cutting across the middle, up in the air. No, almost picked off by Jason Araki, the diving attempt. He said he had it, but the official emphatically says, no, you did not, young man. They have a little discussion about it right there. But it'll be 4th and 6, and they'll have to punt.
If he doesn't like the call, Jason, we should have let you know. And he probably went up there, he's like, I had that ref, and ref didn't like it.
Well, on to punt. Number 5, Tony Alicavoli, senior from Boynton Beach, Florida. Kip Daniels deep for the Spartans, standing about his own 22-yard line. One thing Licavoli has not done well, or I shouldn't say well, but he's been pretty average at his punting. His punt bounces about the 30. It takes a good bounce for the Falcons inside the 15, all the way down to about the 11-yard line is where the Spartans are going to start this drive. A little different than the last time they had the football.
Well, last time they got it right on the Falcons 18, and it was an easy score for them. Now they got to work their way up there. And with the running team of the Spartans, they're going to wear down this Falcons defense, unlike how the Falcons defense would wear down or the Falcons offense would wear down our defense, because they're passing game. Passing games are faster games. Running games, you have the offense out there for a long time and the other team's defense out there. So we should have a fresh defense throughout this game.
Well, that's up to our offense, really. They are going to have to move the football and give our defense a rest and keep that high-powered offense of Concordia's off the field. Garrett Myers rolling left. He's in trouble. He gets it away, dumps it off, and Schrader stumbles and falls, and he's going to get about 4 yards maybe to the 15-yard line. Well, I mentioned that about Licavoli. He is 8th in the conference in punting at 31.1 yards per game. 4th on the list is AU's Ryan Dexter at 34.3 yards per punt. So when I say that he's not a good punter, it's because he's such a good field goal kicker. He is the top guy in kick scoring in the Illini-Badger Conference. 24 of 31 extra points and 9 of 15 field goals. 2nd and 7. Looking to pass again, in trouble. Myers going to step up. He's going to take it himself. He's got first down yardage and then some, all the way out to the 25, 26-yard line before he's brought down.
And you see a lot of quarterbacks slide when they run a play like that. He just walked right into those tackles and didn't care. He said, hey, you know what, I'll take a hit and I'll show you guys that we're a tough team.
Well, the freshman doing the job as he picks up the first down yardage from Hampshire, Illinois. He stepped in, has done a great job pretty much since week number 3, well actually week number 2 versus Illinois Wesleyan, but he really took over. As Mylan Jones on the pitch. It's across the 30 to about the 34-yard line.
And when the Spartans are going in the area, you might see a connection between Garrett Meyer and Pauly Forsythe. Pauly had 7 receptions for 100 yards last week against Greenville. Had a great game. Didn't score any touchdowns, but that shows that maybe Garrett Meyer favored Pauly, and maybe we'll see that today. Pauly does lead the team in receptions with a total of 23. The next is Tyson with the 16.
Gonna be 2nd and 3. Meyer looking to the right, ball tipped way in the air. Oh, that's a dangerous one.
Very.
Looked like Brian Witt senior lineman from New Berlin, Wisconsin, got his hand on that to deflect that football, so it's going to be 3rd and about 3 for the Spartans. Again, Aurora U started out the year at Bethel College in Minnesota, losing 34-7, a game in which they turned the ball over 6 times, 3 fumbles, 3 interceptions, and that set a tone that has carried through some of those early tough games. Here's a 3rd down play, in trouble again, forcing him to the right, and he just dumps it away to get rid of it before the sack. And again, the pressure this time by Wick, and he had help as well. Eric Hamilton, I think, as well there to put some pressure on him, and the Spartans will have to punt it away on 4th down.
And these teams match up beautifully on offensive sides and defensive sides. One may be a passing team, one may be a rushing team, but they're 2nd and 3rd in the conference, just on everything. You look at all the lists, they just flip-flop all over the place and pretty evenly matched.
Bad snap. Dexter trying to get the handle on it. He's just going to have to fall on it, and Concordia is going to be in business. So 1 turnover by Concordia leads to a Spartan touchdown, and now a bad snap on the punt, and Dexter just could not get the handle on it and ended up just having to fall on the football.
And this is where the Spartans defense can actually show what they can do, because they can stop a team from scoring. And we know that, and we've seen that throughout the season, and they're going to have to do it here if they want to stay competitive in this game. They just can't let plays like that take them down.
Well, it's not a turnover necessarily, but it could almost count as one. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Hand off inside. We've seen him really hand the football off, and this is Eric Hamilton,
a junior from Racine Park, Racine, Illinois.
He's down just outside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and about 2. Well, I started to talk about those turnovers. The Spartans, since that first game, have fumbled 19 times, lost 14 of those, and they've thrown 15 interceptions during the course of the year. So that's a lot of turnovers. They've picked off 14 themselves, but they've only gotten 6 fumbles, 7 counting that first one here today. So the differential of about 8 there. My math is correct. There's a fade pattern to the corner, and he's got a receiver there. Touchdown. 11 yards, and guess who?
And that's just a passing team right there, the Falcons.
Not much to guess there. Aaron Paulin, 6'3", from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, just goes up and gets the football.
We'll show a quick replay of that. After this kick, we'll show that replay.
All right, we'll see this extra point attempt first. Cavoli on. A little strange set there. They perhaps fake a fake. Good snap. The kick is up. Looks like it's good. And it is. And we're back tied here. 7-all. The 8:54 to go here in our first quarter as Concordia draws even. An 11-yard touchdown pass.
And here we go. It's right there. Number 88, Aaron Paulin. Jumps up, comes down with it. And Robert Watson just couldn't take it out of his hands.
There you see it indeed. Robert Watson had his back to the play and giving up some height advantage as well. Robert listed at 5'10", and again, Paulin at 6'3", so it gives up some height. And we don't know the football's coming. It's hard to defend that.
And Aaron Paulin got hit hard earlier in the game, and he had trouble getting off the field, and he just comes back on that next drive. Comes in and shows why he's one of the leading, or why he is the leading receiver in this on this team.
Well, we get back to the scores that I wanted to mention there, and we're starting to get at, per se. The Spartans then, after that opening week loss at Bethel, really started to turn things around, even though they lost to Illinois Wesleyan, a nationally ranked team, 7-6 here at Spartan Field. They played well and gained some great confidence. They had a hard-fought victory versus Benedictine the following week in the mud, 12-6, and then they've exploded ever since then. A long kick. Paulie Forsythe from about his own 3. He's going to reverse it. Kip Daniels, and they didn't quite fall for that, but he is going to get outside the 20 to about the 23, maybe 25-yard line even, I think is where they're going to mark him going out of bounds. But for a second there, I thought he had a good fake in.
They got a couple extra yards on that play. It might have been worth it, or it might not have been, depending on how tired the team got from being out there for that extra few seconds.
Well, Kip Daniels is the only Spartan on the list in the nation in any categories, and a lot of that is in the kick return areas. He's 23rd in the nation in kickoff returns. Thought I saw his name somewhere else here as well. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Mylan Jones dive across the middle. He's going to get a few yards. Well, the Spartans have seen some tremendous receivers during the season. They've seen some great running backs as well. They saw Steve Ballinger from McMurray 2 weeks ago. He came in, well, he is going into today's action 7th in the nation in rushing, 1,264 yards, but he had 21 carries, 94 yards versus the Spartans, but no touchdowns. The Spartans somewhat kept him in check. A quick pitch to Mylan Jones, but Ballinger averaging 158 yards, so the Spartans kept him well under his average.
Very well. I mean, that's a pretty good thing, especially when you're facing teams like this who are pretty good, like the Spartans and the Benedictine. Very good defensive teams that can hold you to things like that.
3rd and about 5 at the 30-yard line. This time Garrett Meyer into the shotgun formation. 2 wideouts to the left. They're taking an awful lot of time. Play clock down to 10. They're finally, okay, now it looks like they're set. Figure out what they're going to do here. Play clock to 5. Just get the play off. Looking to the right side, he dumps it out there. Kyle Schrader, no place to go. He's going to lose yardage. And a late flag at the end of that play as they pile on, and we'll have to see what that is all about. That could be indeed a face mask against Concordia, which would just be a horrible mistake on their part because he was going nowhere.
Big mistake on their part and a lucky break for us once again, just like in the beginning of the game, and hopefully Lady Luck will stick with us for throughout the whole game.
Well, they're just going to wave the flag off, an inadvertent flag, so no penalty on the play, so the Spartans are definitely going to have to punt. It'll be 4th and about 9. Well, I should mention our officials today. The referee Clifton Rogers, that was him waving off that penalty just now. Umpire Tim King, linesman Octavio Herrera, line judge Dan Hilker, field judge Jim Ask, and the side judge today is Al Amin Abdul Kareem. This time a good snap on the punt. Dexter gets a pretty good one away. A fair catch, a late, very late fair catch called there at about the 39-yard line by Wadzinski, and that's where the Falcons will start.
Yeah, well, the ball kind of hung up in the air there. He thought it was going to go past him, but it didn't. It just hung up there and fell straight down to him, so he had to at least try to catch it, but he didn't want to get clobbered in the meantime.
He didn't want to let that thing hit and lose yardage. I mentioned Polisek came into today 10th in the nation in passing efficiency. The Spartans have also seen Scott Kirchhoff from Bethel College in Minnesota. He's number 12 in the nation, and they saw Kyle Krober last week from Greenville. He's 20th in the nation in passing. Handoff, immediately hit and drop for a loss right there, Joe Thompson. Well, Krober last week, Chris, was 29 of 46 for 288 yards. I mentioned that ties the Spartan record for most yards, passing yards given up. The 2 touchdown passes to the Shields. A long of 40 yards during that game, but he was sacked 5 times, and the Spartans have gotten to the quarterback and then some. Their defense has been doing the job, and there you saw it again, Joe Thompson among others.
And the Spartans have been good this year about disrupting quarterbacks' rhythms. Every game that we've seen here, they've gotten to the quarterback early and taken him out of his game.
Well, the delay of game, the game clock ran down and ran out before they got that play off, so gonna move them back some more. It's gonna be 2nd and about 18 now for the Falcons. Well, you look at the Illini-Badger Conference statistics for conference games. Witt for Concordia is number 2 with 17 tackles for losses, 69 yards, but then you go 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9 are all Spartan players. That tells you about the AU defense.
Yeah.
Looking long across the middle, the Rockies there, he tips it, oh! He dropped it. Well, a pretty good play nonetheless. A ball underthrown, looking for Paul, and then Jason Rocky was right there.
Rocky almost had his 4th interception of the season, but couldn't come down with it. But they might be a little bit better off here. Maybe they can hold the defense and do something a little bit better. But the interception would have been nice.
That would have been real nice, to say the least. Well, Jason, one of many seniors today. They honored all the seniors here just before the game today. They had parents down on the field as well here in the last regular season home game at Aurora University this year. It was senior day here. 3rd and 18 first before I get to all those seniors. Polasek looking, getting some pressure. He's going to step up. Going to roll left. Got pressure again. He's going to just tuck it in and try and get out of bounds. He's finally shoved out of bounds over there. Looked like Chris Cleary knocked him out.
Chris sent him a little message and said, hey, don't run my way. Either way, you're going to get hit a little bit.
Say, if you come out of that pocket, you're going to pay for it. They'll get about 5 yards out of that, so it's going to be 4th and about 13. They're going to punt away again. So
Kip Daniels is back to receive that.
Daniels had his own 28-yard line. Licavoli stands about his own 21. Punt this away. We'll get the Spartan seniors here after this punt. Well, a high snap. He goes up and gets it. Here comes the Spartans with a great rush, and he's going to still get it away, and it's blocked. Going to squib out of bounds and about close to out of bounds, and it's going to be AU ball at about the 38-yard line. And the 45 for the Spartans. Brandon Schweinler was the one who got a hand on it.
That's how close these teams are. They're so close they can almost smell each other's moves. And Spartans are right there. It was a good job by the punter for the Falcons, though. He tried to get that punt off at the last second. Wasn't able to, but at least he got it up at 5 or 6 yards instead of back so far. Now the Spartans have the ball, hoping to score.
Well, they had him in trouble there for a second. A high snap. He had to go up and get it, and Spartans had the rush. Several Spartans there. Tyson LeBlanc was in position to block it as well, and then he ran away from it and tried to get it off, but Schweinler diving across blocks it. Spartans are going to pick up 3 on that play. Well, Tyson LeBlanc, one of the seniors today from Sterling. Also Craig Revetter from Gary, Indiana. Martin Kern from Chicago Steinmetz. Jeremy Jordan from Rock City, Illinois. Ryan Posen from nearby Elburn. Jeff Schroeder from Norridge, Illinois. We'll get to some of the others here after this play. Hand off the inside, Joe Schmidt. It's going to get about 4 or 5 more yards. Also, Mylan Jones, running back from Chicago Englewood. Anthony Armstrong, fullback from Chicago Schurz. Brian Richter, linebacker from Carroll Stream. And Jason Araki, linebacker from Crystal Lake. Get to the rest of the seniors. There's still a few more to go. Senior-dominated team this year, the Spartans. Joe Schmidt again. This time he's got first down yardage and then some inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line.
And this year we're losing a lot of good seniors, a lot of great players that are on this team. But we got some weight in the wings that are ready to step up.
Indeed, Jim Scott always does a fine job, he and his staff, in recruiting and filling in the holes that they need. And they've had some great guys here the last 4 years. These seniors have been big contributors to the program. Quick pitch. Schrader looks like he's going to pass, and he is. He's throwing long. He underthrows Paulie Forsythe, and it's picked off and knocked out of bounds. I didn't see which number got that on that far side. Ooh, but a lot of high fives over there for number 12, Craig Lidwin, senior from Greenfield, Wisconsin. So just like that, as soon as the Spartans, as quickly as they looked like they were going to get in position to score,
replay of that
turn it right
interception.
back over. Here it is, ball well underthrown. There you see Forsythe on the ground trying to dive back to it. Lindwine just stepped, or Lindwin, I'm sorry, stepped right in front of it. So 1st and 10 for the 25 for the Falcons. Just about 4.5 minutes to go here in our first quarter. 7-all tie. Quick pitch to the side, and the Spartans smelled that right away. They snuffed that out, but flags fly. We'll see what that's all about. Get to the rest of our seniors here, Chris. Toby Nickum, lineman from Lockport. Matt Hartzell, lineman from Warren. Todd Bassich, the defensive lineman from Chesterton, Indiana. Chris Mitchell, just down the street here in Montgomery. Jeff Knapp lineman from Valparaiso, Indiana. Dave Brummel, also just down the road here, the lineman from Aurora. The penalty is a clipping penalty, and then an offsides against the Spartans will negate that. So after all that, offsetting penalties, we're going to do it again. Also, Jason Hunt, lineman from Chicago Shores. Jeremy Benson, the outstanding lineman from Coal City, and also Joe Thompson from Pontiac. Those are your Spartan seniors playing in their last home game here today. Also the trainers, Dana Wold, Michelle Dukes, and Joanne Lewis. They were all honored as well here before the game today.
And we're losing some great people on and off the field this year because of senior status, but
there's a quick pitch. He reverses directions and not sure where Eric Hamilton wanted to go, but he didn't get very far. He'll get about a yard is all. 2nd and 9. Well, again, playoff implications today, Chris. The winner be it the Spartans.
The winner,
it's a postseason bid.
It's just, that's how it's going to go. Whoever wins this game is probably going to go there. Unless, we got the point differential. But Coach Scott doesn't want his team to go into the playoffs on a loss. And, if they lose, it's probably not going to be by 5 points.
And the shotgun rolling right. They're going to try and get him out of there and get him some room. He's got a receiver. Incomplete, however, to Brad Young. Couldn't keep a handle on it. It's going to be 3rd and long.
They're going to be, I'm guessing, nice long pass here for the Falcons.
Well, they're going to do what they do well.
Probably see Aaron Pollen get the call on this play.
There you see some of the fans lining the fence line here. A great crowd on hand. Beautiful fall day here at Aurora U. Bright sunshine. Here we go. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 back. Another wideout to the top left. Little play action fake. Dumps it out there, and right on top of the Spartan. Somehow he gets away, but he's not going to get there. Eventually, Benson gets to him, but looked like Brian Richter had him wrapped up for a loss. Couldn't hold on to him.
He might have even been down there, but, I'm far away from the field. I can't see that.
Well, instead, down on the play is Craig Rivetter, and he is not looking good there. Looks like he's in some sort of pain, to say the least.
And that's not something that we like to see. Craig's a great guy and a good player. Had him on the show a couple weeks ago, and we don't want to see that happen on any side of the ball for any team.
Well, speaking of that, your guest this week on Spartan Spotlight, or Spartan Sports Spotlight. What did I say?
Hey, I made the mistake a few times myself, even on the show. We had Coach Scott along with a couple of players, Polly Forsythe, the leading receiver. Didn't like to talk about stats as much as you thought he would, being the team leader, but we did a little bit, and he said, stats don't mean much, because what could our stats if you're not winning games? And he's absolutely right, and that just shows the unselfishness of this team, that just saying, you know what, we'll do whatever we want, and just to win games. I don't care if I have 50 catches. I don't even care if I have 1 catch, just as long as we win the game. And Coach Scott brought that out. He said he has a lot of players with a lot of talent who are being very unselfish, who could have those big stats, but they're playing as a team and not as an individual. And that's the big thing. And that's why the Spartans are where they are right now.
4th down, they're going to punt it away. Kip Daniels stands at his own 30 for Aurora U to take this. You saw a shot at Craig Rivetter. Ran off the field under his own power, so he looked to be okay. This time they get a good snap and get the punt away. Ball's going to hit about the 32 and go out of bounds inside the 20. Or inside the 30 to about the 26, 27-yard line, where the Spartans will take over. Well, who was the other guest besides Paulie Forsythe?
Oh, I had a brain freeze real quick.
It's not that cold out yet.
Let me check my stat book. I'm going to have to apologize to this player later in the week because I forgot his name, and that's not good.
Uh-oh.
We had Brian Richter. That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to make the mistake because I've been having Jim Scott on every week with 2 of his players. Gotten to know a lot of his players lately. That's good.
Handoff straight up the middle, and he's going to be close to the 1st down on 1st down play.
Was Brian Richter. He wants this win, and he was looking at the coach right when the coach said, these guys better come out here to play this week. And he agreed, and he said he was going to be out here to play. And so far, the defense is out here to play, and they're doing what they can. So,
the officials timeout for a measurement now. Well, you mentioned that. Of course, they want to win this game for a lot of different reasons, and we started to talk about it. They win this, they are the undefeated conference champions for the third consecutive year. The 21 straight wins they're going for today in the Illini-Badger Conference. And, of course, this is the first time, as we mentioned, that this conference title carries a postseason bid with it. So these guys, these seniors especially, want to go to the playoffs in their last year. And that would be 2 weeks from now. The Spartans travel to Valparaiso, Indiana next week for a 12:30 p.m. kickoff versus the Crusaders, and then would hear, provided they win this game, would hear who and when and where they play the following weekend.
And Coach Scott was talking about how this year is special to him because it marks no longer that it was the good old boys picking the teams that go to the playoffs. It's the teams that necessarily deserve it, who have won their conference and tried all year for that. And he's happy about that, and the seniors just want that so bad because they've been doing so good for the past few years and haven't been getting into the playoffs for one reason or another. This is their chance, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do it.
Well, slowly but surely they've been giving more and more of these automatic bids as things go on. This is Mylan Jones. Hand off into the pile. He's going to get a couple of yards is all. That'll be third and about 5. And in years past, it was always, there were some political things involved, and well, our women's soccer team has still found that out, so to speak.
Yes.
There's the conference championship for them did not result in a postseason bid, even though they had another fine season. They finished 16-6 overall.
Which is a shame. I mean, you go in there, you win your conference, and you should be recognized for that and saying, you know what, you did beat all these teams, and you should be put into a playoff position, and they're not. It's something that we don't like to see.
3rd and 5. Tyson LeBlanc, he's got first down yardage across midfield. He's going to be dragged back, but they're going to mark that all the way across midfield at about the 49-yard line.
And it took a swarm of Falcons to get him off his feet. That's just the talent of Tyson LeBlanc. He can get out there and keep going. He keeps moving. He doesn't stop.
Hey, well, that was a nice pass by Garrett Meyer that time. A little zip on the football. And 1st and 10 for Aurora U into Falcon territory. Big 3rd down play for Aurora U. Well, again, the ladies were 6-0 in conference, 10-6 non-conference play, and had a great season again this year. They won 9 of their last 10 soccer matches, but they missed out on the postseason bid. Sometimes you say it's a little political at times, and not always easy to get, but once you get those automatic bids in there, then there's no doubt anymore.
And it should have been instituted a while ago. I mean, teams that win their conference should, like I said before, be recognized for it. And it's something that shouldn't be just politics. It should be, if they're playing good soccer, football, basketball, volleyball, anything, they should be rewarded for that in a playoff.
All right, this is going to be the last play of our first quarter. 2nd and 9, handoff. Mylan Jones up the middle. Squeezes through close to the 40-yard line, and that'll do it for the end of our first quarter. The score all knotted up, 7 all. Aurora University and Concordia, Wisconsin. Spartans again drew first blood after an opening kickoff fumble by the Falcons. The Spartans went right in. Kyle Schrader with a 3-yard touchdown. Ryan Glab added the extra point kick, and the Spartans had a miscue of their own, a bad snap, and Concordia took over, and they scored an 11-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Tim Polasek to their his main receiver, Aaron Paul, 11 yards, and Tony Licavoli added the extra point kick to knot things up there at about the 9-minute mark of our first quarter. We play that last 9-minute struggle back and forth. The Spartans now, though, trying to move into scoring position again. They'll face about a 3rd down and 2 at about the 41-yard line of Concordia as they switch ends, and Aurora will go to that north end zone now with the sun at their backs.
And this is how we're going to see the game all day. The only way teams are going to score is if another team makes a big mistake, which happened on both the scores here. And it's going to be a close game throughout the day unless one team just keeps making mistakes.
Go down the conference standings. Aurora again 6-0, 6-2 overall. Benedictine 5-1 as well as Concordia 5-1. However, Benedictine is 5-3 overall. Concordia 7-1 overall. Greenville is 5-3 overall, but they're only 3-3 in the conference. Lakeland 2-4 in the conference, 2-6 overall. McMurray 2-4 in the conference, 3-5 overall. Eureka 1-5 in conference play, 2-7 overall. And Concordia of Illinois, that's River Forest, yet to win a ball game, 0-6 in conference and 0-8 overall. And the other big game, Greenville at Benedictine today, which could all play into this postseason bid here if the Spartans do not win this game.
Here we get a one-on-one.
3rd and 2. A block to the top of your screen. Foresight to the bottom. Backs in the eye, quick pitch, Mylan Jones. He's got some running room. He squeezes through. He's got first down, still on his feet, all the way to the 31-yard line. The Spartans continue to move the football.
But Mylan Jones is a starting running back because he can just bust through there anytime, and he's done that the past couple of plays.
Well, towards the end of that play, number 98, Paul Jacobson, pleading with the official, saying, they're holding me. The defensive lineman from the far side said, come on, I'm trying to get over here, and I got a guy holding on to me. But the senior from Delavan, Wisconsin, was not getting the official's ear, essentially. Hand off, Kyle Schrader bursts through. He's going to get 4, 5, 6 yards quick, still on his feet, inside the 25-yard line. And see where they mark that at about the 24. That's going to be 2nd and about 2.
Yeah, outside of Benedictine, Concordia, Wisconsin really hasn't faced a team with the caliber of the Spartans. The Spartans will pound that ball with you. Benedictine's learning to do that now, and they won't stop, and they won't give up even if you're touching them. So,
Indy, the Spartans' rushing attack has been their bread and butter all along in the Jim Scott era. Jim Scott in his 15th season. Did I miscount that? Or is it 14?
14th or 15th.
Almost like an 86 to now. That'd be 15 seasons.
We can just say he's been for a long time and doing a good job of it.
The officials are going to measure for that first down. And Coach Scott,
15th.
graduate of Luther College. Back in 1961, Luther College in Iowa. His wife Lorraine, who is usually at just about every game. Haven't seen her yet today. Spartans are going to be short of about a half a foot. The Spartans, 78 and 52 with 3 ties. Coach Scott's tenure here at the helm of Spartan football. That, of course, includes the games played this season. So here we go, 3rd and inches. Backs in the eye. Schmidt and Jones. Quarterback sneak. Myers hit hard. He spins away from it, and he's going to get first down yardage. Good job by the freshman there.
And the backs didn't even move. They just stood there. They're like, you go for it, quarterback. We'll watch you.
Well, that's one of those quick snap things where everybody else essentially does not move, but the center and the quarterback just go. Try and catch them off guard, and it works there. So the Spartans 1st and 10 at about the 20-yard line of Concordia, looking to go back into the lead. 7-all tie here. 13 and a half minutes to go in our second quarter. Mylan Jones, and he's hit hard and driven back. They'll give him about a yard out of that.
Mylan Jones has gained a total of 564 yards on the ground this year with 110 attempts, averaging 5 yards a carry and 7 TDs. He's at a 69.1 average per game, which says a lot about how Jim Scott uses running backs, because he has 5 guys with 20 or more yards per game.
Looking left, dumps it out there. Schrader, close to the first down. I think he has it diving inside the 10-yard line. And we'll have to see where that knee went down as he came across there. Well, all right, they are going to give him first down inside the 10. First and goal for the Spartans at about the 9-yard line. The Spartans knocking on the door, trying to get back into the lead. Armstrong, Schrader are the backs. Forsyth far to the right. Handoff. Anthony Armstrong dives inside the 5-yard line, looking about the 3.
And Armstrong is just a great rushing quarterback for touchdowns. I remember that game a couple weeks ago against Eureka. They just gave him the ball and he just kept getting in that end zone.
The thing about Anthony Armstrong is he's got a great burst of speed. He gets through that line quick. He hits the hole hard. Second down play. This is Schmidt close to the goal line. He's going to be short though, down to about the 1. Maybe 1.5-yard line. Third down and goal. Well, don't go away. Couple things coming up at halftime that you'll want to stick around and watch.
Schmidt is another one of them leading running backs for us with an average of 36.8 per game, a total of 298 on the year.
Island Jones dives in. He's got a touchdown. Aurora U. The Spartans back into the lead.
That's his 8th touchdown of the season. Rushing TD anyways.
Island Jones puts the Spartans back in front. 11:35 mark of our second quarter. Now the extra point attempt.
Glab has been doing a good job this year of kicking that in there.
Jeremy Jordan the holder, and the kick is up and good on the line drive, and we're back into the lead, 14-7, Aurora University.
And Ryan Glab didn't catch all that ball. He's kind of walking off the field slowly saying he knows he messed up, but at least he got it through.
Indeed, it wasn't the prettiest kick, but it went through the uprights, and that's what counts. So the Spartans vault back ahead, and now it's up to that defense to try and stop the passing attack of these Concordia Falcons. Well, elsewhere in the Illini-Badger today, Lakeland is at Eureka, and Concordia River Forest is at McMurray. I mentioned that Greenville at Benedictine game. We're keeping tabs on that as well. We'll hopefully get some updates from Lane Staller, the sports information director here at Aurora U, or from athletic director Mark Walsh at some point, and how that game's progressing. But coming up at halftime, don't go away. We've got the AU Spartan Club, their second annual Spartan raffle. They're going to be giving away the big grand prize, $4,000 grand prize winning ticket, 2 $1,000 second prizes, 2 $500 third prizes, and 60 $50 winners for a total of $10,000 in cash prizes. That all coming up at halftime, with 100% of those proceeds going directly to the AU Athletics. They've been selling tickets for quite a while for that baby, but somehow I failed to get a ticket. Here's the kickoff return. Bounces to the outside. This is going to be a good one. Some good speed by Hamilton, and he's going to get all, or rather, look like Dan Rode. I take that back. 36, not 38. Finally knocked out, though, at about the 35.
Spartans defense is back on the field, and they're going to try to hold once more, which they've been doing all day and doing a good job of it. And we get this big passing offense out here once again for the Falcons, and they're trying to get something started. With our defense, it's hard to get something started, which we've shown throughout the past few weeks.
Well, Spartans finally gave up some points in the second half 2 weeks ago at McMurray. So now they've given up 3 all season long. Handoff inside to Hamilton. He moves the pile forward. A good surge that time. He's going to get about 6-7 quick yards out of that.
And we're going to act like that 3 points doesn't really matter since it was only a field goal. So it never really happened. So we haven't let anybody score a touchdown in the second half.
Well,
we'll say that for now on.
There you go. Spartan defense yet to give up a TD in the second half. How about that? They have outscored their opponents so far this season. Oops, now I got the wrong page there. I know I had it.
227 to 86.
There you go. Second and about 4. 41-yard line. Handoff. This is Hamilton again. Follow some blockers, and it looks like he's got the first down. Indeed he does. Near midfield at about the 48. Well, the Spartans tacked on first quarter touchdown today, so that gives them 49 points in the first quarter of this season. Concordia also scored in the first quarter, so that gives their opponents 27 in first quarter action this season. The Spartans, now with this second quarter touchdown, have scored 80 points in the second quarter to their opponents' 63, and then you get to the third quarter, and that's where they really have made the difference. 57-0, Aurora U has outscored all their opponents so far in third quarters this year, and then 55-3 in fourth quarter. So they've really taken over in the second half. Boy, the play clock expired. I was going to say he's taking a long time there. Finally, you hear the whistle or the horn, and it'll be a delay game penalty the second time. We've seen that today already. There's no excuse for that when you've got a play clock at either end of the field that is in plain view.
I'm not sure. This is a good quarterback for the Falcons, but he's had 2 of those already today. I wonder if that's something that he regularly has. I don't have that stat readily available, but well, we can get that from somebody during halftime and get that to everyone watching at home and in TV land.
Well, I don't think they've been penalized too often this year, but they haven't been too sharp so far here today. Shotgun, Olasek dumps it out to the right-hand side. Young is going in this one all the way. A nice run by Brad Young. That is a 57-yard touchdown, just like that. And boy, there was nothing fancy about that. He just made a couple people miss, and then he turned on the speed.
And that's Concordia game, passing the ball and having those nice receivers, those good receivers out there that can make those plays. And now we got a almost tie game. We'll see what Concordia looks like. They're going to kick the extra point here. Or maybe take it. No?
Well, yeah, now they'll move back into the middle. Extra point attempt. Cavoli, kick is up, looks to be good, and indeed it is, and we're knotted up at 14 now. At 10:06 of our second quarter, we've got a ball game, just as we had expected. The 2 top teams essentially in the Illini-Badger Conference, not to take anything away from Benedictine, but they have been the 2 favorites all season long and have been building up to this game. And so far, it has played out that way. 14 all, 10:06 to go.
And this game has been exciting as we've built it up to be for the past few weeks. That we knew coming in here that this was going to be a good game and an important game. And it's been a good game so far. A little bit closer than I'd like to see. I told the guys on the show that I want them to win 66-0. Even though Coach Scott doesn't like to run up the score, I said I want you guys to win 66-0. They said they did what they could, but doesn't look like I'm going to get my wish.
I hope you didn't put any money on that.
No money on that.
Okay. Also coming up at halftime, we'll go down to the field and watch our halftime kicking contest sponsored by Bannock's Restaurant. They're at 2124 West Galena Boulevard, just a couple minutes here from campus. Right across from Walmart, and they're in between Ace Hardware and Robinson's Auto over there. Traditional American cuisine. Well, here's our kickoff. Cavoli, Ollie Forsyth from about his own 5. Got a wall of blockers in front of him. Tries to bounce to the right and is going to run into one of his teammates and be wrapped up there at about the 23-yard line. That's where the Spartans will start. 9:56 to go here till halftime. 14 all tie.
And
Aurora and Concordia, Wisconsin.
This is where the Spartans need to keep the ball, drive the field, take a lot of time off the clock, and score. Then they can come into the second half with the lead, knowing where their defense always steps up and plays a great game.
It'd be nice to salt away the rest of this time here in a nice long drive and get some points out of it, to say the least. 1st and 10 for Aurora U. They're going to put him at the 24-yard line. Meyer rolling left, looking. He's got 2 receivers already. He throws low. Tyson LeBlanc. And are they going to give him the catch? Indeed, it looks like they are. That pass awful close to being incomplete. It looked like it almost short hopped him. A little complaint from the Concordia side, but not too much. Their head coach Jeff Gabrielson over there.
I'm not sure if that was a catch from our end either.
But they're going to give it to him, so 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1.
Rust must be on Aurora's side this week.
And off. Anthony Armstrong trying to foul some blockers, and he may have gotten first down yard. It's going to be awful close.
Most people don't think refs take sides. I think they do. I think they decide who's going to win before the game.
Well, I don't know about that. I certainly have seen some baseball games as officials are going to call timeout for a measurement. I've seen some baseball games where if you argue a little too vehemently about some balls and strikes early in a game, the strike zone gets a little smaller or it gets bigger depending on the situation. But yeah, it's only human nature, I think, sometimes. But no, officials We've had some pretty good officiating this year. The Spartans are going to have the first down by quite a bit, as a matter of fact, as it turns out.
That wasn't even in need for a measurement.
No. All right, well, again, at halftime, also, we've got the West Aurora High School Pound and Dance team will be performing. Then the Aurora U Dance team will follow that. And we mentioned our field goal kicking contest and the AU Spartan raffle, all that at halftime, so don't go away. Right, Chris?
Right. Stay right here with us through the whole time.
You know, next time I'll make sure, I'll let you read that next time.
It'd be my pleasure.
It's a little easier for you to see it over there. You're right next to it.
We got a big glare on our screen.
There's quite a bit of glare on that screen. Hand off. Joe Schmidt is going to get a couple of yards out to about the 38-yard line. Be second down and about 6 for the Spartans. Give him a good 4 yards actually out of that play.
Joe Schmidt all around. He catches the ball and he runs it quite a bit. We've talked about that already today. Joe Schmidt, a great player.
Backs in the eye, quick pitch. This is Mylan Jones. And a flag flies. He tries to make the corner there, and he's going to be driven back, but that could be just about anything there. The flag thrown just about the contact. When the contact was made, however.
I do. I got him.
Let's see what the officials have for us.
I got him. The umpire.
And I was looking all over for these, and they were right in front of me.
And Tyson LeBlanc looks a little bit concerned.
It is going to be a hold against Aurora after all that discussion. Well, Mylan Jones, last week against Greenville, 21 carries for 101 yards total.
That's
pretty good day for him. Kyle Schrader also had 58 yards. Joe Schmidt had 40 and Anthony Armstrong 28.
very good day for Milan.
And the Spartans ended up with 238 yards rushing, 191 passing. As last week at Greenville, it was Jeremy Jordan who turned out to be the main guy, 11 of 18 for 151 yards. Garrett Meyer had a little bit of an off day, 3 of 8 for him with 1 interception for only 40 yards. The Paulie Forsythe that you mentioned before, 7 receptions for 100 yards last week, a long of 36. Pretty good day for him as, again, the Spartans spread it around. Bigham, Jones, Schmidt, Armstrong, LeBlanc, Schrader all had receptions. 2nd and 15, in trouble, and is going to be dropped for a sack, is Garrett Meyer.
And that is one of the reasons why it's tough having a freshman quarterback in there. Young, inexperienced, and might hold on to the ball a little bit too much.
Yep, that could have been the case there. And the week before that at McMurray, the Spartans, Mylan Jones, also over 100 yards that game, 105 total yards and 17 carries. Schrader with 46, Armstrong with 34, Schmidt with 20, and Meyer with 14 of his own. Spartans are only 5 of 15 through the air with those 3 interceptions, which kept McMurray in that game. This time Meyer, he had Rich Bigham wide open and way overthrows him. And it'll bring up 4th down. The Spartans will have to punt away. Boy, if Rich catches that, there's nobody around him from Concordia who's moving the same direction as he was. That would have been 6.
And if Garrett Meyer has another set of downs like that, he might be replaced for the game. We'll have to see what Coach Scott decides for that. Maybe Garrett Meyer can help himself and be a little bit more accurate on those passes.
Nice punt. Fair catch call for and taken. Dexter will take it all the way to about the 41, 42-yard line with that punt, so pretty good job on his part. Yeah, at times Garrett Meyer has looked like a world beater, and other times he's looked like a freshman. Some of those growing pains are going to happen, but he has not been as sharp as we've seen him at other times here so far, and today, depending on how this game plays out, he's still his position to lose, I guess, is one way to say it.
Well, you're going to wonder if Coach Scott is going to change quarterbacks in a game like this. He certainly doesn't want to kill any of Garrett Meyer's confidence in such an important game, and especially with the playoff implications if they do win and go to the playoffs.
Olasek gets it out there. This is Young again. This time he's just swarmed by a host of Spartans. Rocky, Richter, Schweinler, and Riveter all there. Don't forget Todd Bassage.
And that defensive unit probably got an earful from the coaches on the sidelines after letting that long touchdown reception go through. And they're going to swarm to the ball now, just a little bit more, with a little bit more intensity.
They did indeed swarm to the ball that time. Well, Meyer threw for 72 yards in that McMurray game and then 40 last week, so he hasn't had two very average weeks. Two average games for him, to say the least, below average. And he hasn't been that sharp today, and they really need him to be good here. Hand off the inside across midfield. It's going to bring up a third down play here, about 3. 3rd and 3 or 3rd and about 2 for Concordia. Nearing the 6-minute mark of our second quarter till halftime, 14-14 all tie.
In a closer game than we'd like to see here. We're hoping maybe the Spartans come out and blow them out. At least I was. But we're not going to have that all the time, and I realize that. We got a little bit spoiled earlier in the season with that 66-3 win, that 51-0 win, and that 41-0 win.
Indeed, the Spartans went on a tear there for a while. Third down, shotgun. Holisek looking to the right. He's going to throw a bullet out there, and it's knocked away by Ruby. Fourth down, and they're going to have to punt the ball. So the defense comes through.
See if the defense can get the Falcons punter once again.
Spartans winning, or riding a 6-game winning streak. Again, 12-6 over Benedictine, then 66-3 at Concordia River Forest, 51-0 versus Rican, 41-0 versus Lakeland. Those ones you just mentioned, and then they had two tough games here the last 2 weeks, 24-17 over McMurray and 20-19 over Greenville. Pretty good punt. Kip Daniels goes to get it at about his own 18. Dances around a couple defenders. He's still on his feet, staggering forward. And boy, I wish he could have kept on and kept his balance there. But as it is, he gets out to about the 35-yard line.
And he gives the Spartans some breathing room to work with right here. We've been seeing a lot of action in this part of the field today. Just back and forth towards the middle of the field. No offense really able to get anything started with the side of those few touchdowns.
Yeah, it's been a couple of miscues and making it short drives for scores, and one big play, essentially, for Concordia. Well, 1st and 10 for the Spartans, like you say, gave them some breathing room from their own 35. Meyer, handoff to the inside.
Looks like Kyle Schrader.
Indeed. Oh,
or Joe Schmidt.
Joe Schmidt there piled up. He's going to get only about 3 yards. Under 5.5 minutes to go till halftime.
My X-ray vision, seeing through the other team's jerseys, didn't work too well. So I had to get that checked. Go to the eye doctor.
Kind of tough to run through those bodies as well, and that's what Joe Schmidt found in that play. 2nd and 6, they're going to give him 4 from the shotgun. Meyer, here comes the rush. He steps up a little bit, throws it across the middle. Oh, Bigham was right there off his hands. Is a little behind him, but Rich has got to catch that.
And Ben Schroer from New Halston High School almost had that interception.
As you would suspect, a lot of Wisconsin natives on this Concordia roster. A few Michigans thrown in there for good measure. And, once in a while see a Florida. And,
we got a man
a little bit here, a little bit there, but north suburb of Milwaukee, they get a lot of players from that area. Down and out, Tyson LeBlanc looks like he's got it for first down yardage, and he does. Tyson LeBlanc knew how much he needed. He got to that first down marker, turned around, and fell to the ground to catch that football thrown low so it would not be picked off. And Spartans have a first down at their own 49-yard line.
I'm wondering if these low passes are something that the coaching staff has the team actually do, just to avoid interceptions.
Indeed, that's something they practice. And the pitch out this time, Schrader steps inside. He's going to pick up 4 quick yards into Concordia territory at about the 47-yard line of the Falcons.
2nd and 5 to go. And hopefully we can get together another scoring drive, which is very possible with the running team. Maybe we'll get their defense a little bit tired. We're closing to the end of the half.
Mylan Jones looks like he's got first down about the 40-yard line, and Spartans moving the chains and trying to get in position to score here before half. 4:15 till halftime.
And it looks like we're finally breaking down their defense after having them on that field for so long, and our running game just beating them down play after play.
Exactly what the Spartans had hoped for. to have their offense be able to move the football a little bit and wear them down and keep their passing attack off the field as much as possible. Fake the handoff, rolls left. He's got a man out there, dumps it to Joe Schmidt. He's got running room and more, and he's going to get inside the 25 before he's pulled down and out of bounds at about the 24. Another first down for the Spartans.
That's number another first down, Spartans.
Spartans looking to tack on some points here before halftime to take the lead back. Seesaw battle. And now Concordia, sensing that the momentum has switched and they're not quite figuring out what the Spartans are doing offensively, have called timeout. They're going to have their entire defensive unit to go to the side there and try and regroup.
Give them a little rest. I mean, they're out there a lot from today's game, and they're most likely tired. Maybe the coach will make some substitutions. I know you don't like to take out your starters because they're your top players, but you know, sometimes you need to make these substitutions, give them rest, and have a fresher man in there.
Well, he's also quite animated. You see the Spartan huddle there, but I'm looking over at the Concordia huddle on the far side, and Coach Gabrielson is giving them an earful, saying, "Hey guys, you got to step up right now."
Please let them know that this is probably one of the most important games of their life. And if they don't win this, then you know everything that they've worked for the past few years and this year isn't really doing that much.
Well, you can also talk about some of the other sports. Men's soccer also has finished up their season. They finished 9-11 overall. Almost got to that 500 mark. They were 7-7 non-conference, but 2-4 in the conference, and a fairly decent season. Dan Sather was the one who really led the way, the elder statesman of that team. Led the way for the Spartans.
And he's leaving this year. And, you know, Steve Blakemore's thinking he can step up as going to be a sophomore next year, second leading scorer. He thinks he can step up and take over not take over Dan's spot, but become the leading scorer of the team and show the young guys that he can do it. I had Tom Waters on the show this week with Steve Blakemore and Marty Rubery. Marty Rubery is a now conference soccer player this year, freshman. So, you know, we have him for another 3 years, and that's great. And Tom, you know, they were a streaky team this year. They were a young team and a streaky team.
Indeed.
If you look at the schedule, they win a bunch, then they lose a bunch. They win a bunch, and then they lose a bunch. And
oh, Garrett Meyer on the keeper there. Had Schrader open on the pitch, but thought maybe a little too risky to try and throw it as he was just getting wrapped up. And so he'll drop for maybe a loss of a yard, or maybe they might even give him a foot out of that. I don't know, but the point is it's third and a long, about 9. Brings up a big play here for the Spartans. We'll get back to soccer in just a second. After this big play, here we go. Looking left. Got a couple of receivers. He's going to tuck it in himself, and it's going to go nowhere. Maybe a yard.
I think a lot of that was designed to get the ball more in the middle of the field so we can get Ryan out there to kick the field goal.
Indeed, and that's what's going to go on here. Ryan Glab is going to come on to attempt this field goal. Freshman from McHenry. Ball spotted at about the 20-yard line. It's going to make for about a 37-yard field goal attempt. Jeremy Jordan will be the holder. Just a little bit to the left side of the field, left hash. Here's a kick, and it's blocked. Uh-oh. Bouncing, and it's almost picked up. Can't quite be picked up. Ball still loose. Mad scramble for the football, and the Spartans will finally knock it down. Boy, for a second there, it looked like I think Aaron Ressar had a shot at picking that up in stride, and he had teammates around him. That would have been trouble.
And that looked like a Concordia score right there.
Boy, you're not kidding.
I mean, if he was able to pick that up, there was no one there that would have stopped him. And thankfully, he doesn't have good hands.
Well, they've got 2 minutes and 1 second to work with. 59 yards to go. And again, Licavoli has been a pretty good field goal kicker for them this year. 9 of 15 on the season. So they don't really even need 59 yards. They just need to get in field goal range here. Try and get some points before halftime. 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
And it's an important thing for this Concordia team to be ahead at the half because Spartan defense doesn't let people score in the second half.
Indeed, Aurora's been so good. This is Paulin with the reception, but Richter right there shadowing and drags him down already. And now a flag goes late at the end of this play. I'm not sure what that's about, but Craig Rivetter came sliding over there as well. Richter's going, what's going on?
Yeah, I didn't.
What did I do? He didn't see it.
Richter was on the tackle, I believe.
Flag flew. Yeah, Richter with a tackle, and the flag flew as he had his back turned to at the end of that play.
And it looks like it might be against the Spartans, and no one knows why.
Well, if I had to guess, it would have been some sort of comment or something that might have been made. No. Holding at the end of that play against Concordia and the personal foul. Indeed, there was a comment or something made by the Spartans. That was the flag that we saw. There's another flag back in the middle of the field at the beginning of that play. And my question is, how do you hold on a play like that? That's a two-step drop and just dumps it out there. How does that happen?
I have no idea. The play was over before it even started. You can't get much of a flag on something like that. And I don't know what that personal foul was about. But let's see what the refs say.
Well, here's the thing. You walk off the holding penalty, and then since the personal foul was at the end after the play was over, then they'll walk that off the other direction. So what's it going to be, 1st and 5? Something like that.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Looks like it's 1st and 10 now. From the 45 or the 46.
They're going to discuss this now. I would think that would be an automatic 1st down. Or okay, 1st and 5. Well, I guess I was right the first time. All right.
It's the last time I listened to Sean Neitzel when he's saying stuff.
Sean, the public address announcer here. All right, 1st down. There's a draw play, and the Spartans smother it. Jeremy Benson right there. Chris Cleary right there as well. Going nowhere was Eric Hamilton, the junior from Racine, Wisconsin. He was definitely not racing on that play.
And the Spartans just stopping him right there. It's just, you're not going anywhere, buddy.
2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line. Well, I was going to get back to soccer, but then we had the block kick, and I'll get to it after this play. How about that? 2nd down, he's looking to the outside. Had a receiver there, and off the hands and incomplete just in front of the Concordia bench was a diving Brad Young, it looked like. Well, you mentioned Sather, leading the team, 42 points, and Blake Moore, the 2nd leading scorer in the team, but he was a distant 2nd with 16 points on the year, 6 goals and 4 assists. I mean, it was all Dan. It was the Dan show.
Yeah, and Steve,
pretty much.
Steve thought he did a lot better than he was gonna do because he was coming in as a freshman, didn't know what to expect out of college soccer, and he thought that for what he did this year was way above his expectations, which is a good thing. And he said he came from a school that was used to losing, and he comes into this team and they go 4-1 in the first 5 games, and that was just something he wasn't used to, and he was pretty excited. And he even said, you know, we're a young team, and that's probably why we were so streaky, that we're getting our confidence up, and then we weren't trying as hard because we thought we were, you know, maybe the best guys out there. Then they lose some games and say, hey, you know what, we have to try a little bit harder. They win the games, and it just repeated. Went back and forth through the season, but the end of the season on a good note. They won their last game against Benedictine 5-0. A game that they lost to Benedictine earlier, 1-5, so they felt proud about that because they came and they beat a team that beat them earlier this year, and they feel that they were improving.
Cavoli on the punt, 4th and 5, gets it away. Good kick indeed. Kip Daniels going to run back there. It's going to hit about the 12 and roll around, and they're going to down at about the 10 or 11-yard line. Spartans will take over. Well, the Spartans did what they do best on 3rd and 5. They blitzed, came after Polisek, forced him to throw it away incomplete. The pressure by Richter and Naraki, and forced that punt.
And we got 59 seconds left to hopefully get a score here. So I'm thinking Coach Scott is going to pull something, one of the tricks out of his hat, and maybe we'll see something special here.
Or he may just say, go to a knee. Let's get this over with. 59 seconds till halftime. The officials now are going to had a referee, Clifton Rogers, as he come over to the Spartan sideline to discuss something with Jim Scott, and I think they're pointing up at the scoreboard. About how much time, or, well, time will only tell what they're talking about.
Yeah, hopefully he's telling Coach Scott to not take the knee. I don't like the knee personally.
He's saying, Coach, I think a good play right here would be the old Statue of Liberty or something.
He's like, well, let me bring in my friend over there.
I'm not sure what they're talking about, but in the meantime, let's touch also on, don't want to slight the women's volleyball team, although they did not have a year of success wins and losses wise. They certainly improved as things went along. They finished 6-28, 2-4 in the conference, and 4-24 in a tough non-conference schedule. Erica Molnar, one of the lone upperclassmen on that squad, did just about everything. Led the team in just about every category, be it kills or serve aces and whatnot, blocks as well. So she was the team leader in a team that's got some growing to do and went through some growing pains this year.
And what happened was the refs took 10 seconds off the clock.
All right. Handoff Mylan Jones, and he busts out to the outside and gets out of bounds. He's got probably a first down outside the 20-yard line.
Coach Scott is going for it.
All right. Well, again,
Something I
you've
like
got
to see.
plenty of time, and you just got to get in field goal range. Ryan Glab is good from a good around 40 yards or so. He should be pretty good. Got that kind of leg, but that means you're going to have to get the ball down to about the 25-yard line or so of Concordia. And you're now at your own 23. 1st and 10. Handoff Mylan Jones again, picking his way in the middle of the field. He's going to get about 7-8 more yards out to the 30-yard line. And clock's still running near the 30 seconds right there. 30 seconds to go until halftime.
And Coach Scott would let me know that Ryan can kick a 35-yard field goal, and he's not afraid to put Ryan out there for something like that. And
Jones again up the middle. He's got first down yardage out to the 35-yard line. Clock will stop momentarily. 18 seconds to go till the half. Well, Concordia has the field spread out quite a bit here just to make sure the Spartans don't go to the air on them. They're now bunched up against a run, and here the Spartans running the ball right down the middle. This time shotgun. Meyer looking to throw. Rolling right, being chased out of there. He's looking and said, hey, block that guy, but he's going to try and get out of bounds, and I'm not so sure he did. No, he did not, and the clock will run out. That'll be the end of our first half.
Tie game, 14-14.
Indeed, the score here at the end of the first half of play, Aurora 14, Concordia 14, and everything we expected it to be, and maybe more, as the two top teams in the Illini-Badger Conference battle for the conference title and an automatic postseason bid to see who will be still playing football on the 18th of November. And the Spartans, so far, have done a pretty good job and capitalized on a couple mistakes, made some mistakes of their own, and it's gone back and forth here, but hard-fought first half of play.
And Schrader ran in for a 3-yard touchdown by Ryan Glab extra point with 14 minutes to go in the first half. And then Polzak, a 11-yard pass to Paulin. And Lukavoli with the extra point with 8:54 left to go in the first. And then Mylan Jones with a 1-yard run, his 8th of the season with a Ryan Glab extra point with 11:35 left in the second half to make it 14-7 Aurora University. Then Polzak, 57-yard pass to Brian Young with a Lukavoli point after and 10:06 left to go in second. And then second tied it up 14-14, and nothing happened in the last 10 minutes of the second half scoring-wise, but it was still pretty exciting game.
Well, now we're going to have the West Aurora Pom and Dance team performing here at halftime. There you see the Spartans huddled up. Jim Scott and his staff keeping the guys out here in the field for just a few more moments just to talk to them before they go into Thornton Gymnasium behind us here and figure out some game plans here for the second half. And again, the Spartans have done so well in the second half. Just got to get something going offensively. The defense has been there all season long. The second half of play, giving up only 3 points all year, and hopefully that trend will continue here in our second half today.
And here's the West Aurora High School Dance and Pom team, ready to perform for us for our halftime show. I'd like to thank them for coming out here today.
Indeed. So we will sit back and relax and enjoy the West Aurora Dance and Pom. All right, back here at Aurora University, I'm Steve Moga, along with Chris Klavinsky, the junior communications major from Geneva, and the host of Spartan Spotlight. And Chris, we're getting ready to start our second half of action here after all the halftime festivities. And the Spartans knotted at 14 with Concordia Falcons of Wisconsin. The same identical score is the way it stands right now at Benedictine between Greenville and the Eagles of BU. So two tough games going down on the wire here to determine this conference championship.
And Benedictine is playing for a lot of pride today. They know they can't, even if they win, they can't get the playoff berth, but they can still be tied for the conference. And, you know, three-way tie is still a three-way tie and still gives them the lead in the conference, but they really want that win.
Well, certainly the Eagles have turned the corner. The program was down here the last few years after being so dominant for many years, and they look like they've turned the corner and got back onto some winning ways, and the Spartans continue hopefully here to maintain their dominance over the Illini-Badger Conference, going for win number 21 in a row here, looking for a third consecutive undefeated conference championship. At this time it carries a little more weight, carries an automatic postseason bid to the Division III playoffs. Well, the Spartans will receive to start our second half. And
they're ready, and hopefully the second half defense can stay with it as they have been all season, only allowing 3 points in the second half all season long. Not one touchdown, a field goal just a couple of weeks ago, but it didn't help that team at all because McMurray lost and Aurora won.
Spartans 24-17 victors in that game, and yeah, they needed a little more than just that second half field goal to catch the Spartans that day. Some of the halftime numbers real quick. The Spartans first down advantage 14-6. 145 rushing yards for the Spartans in the first half, only 31 for the Falcons. Tony Licavoli set to kick off deep. Paulie Forsyth and Kip Daniels for the Spartans. High end over end kick. This is Kip Daniels backpedaling all the way to about the 4-yard line. Comes right up the middle of the field and hits a wall, and he's going to be down at about the 25, 26-yard line. That's where the Spartans will start things. Some other numbers here at the half. Total yardage for the Spartans, 200 yards, only 55 yards through the air, only 90 yards for Concordia through the air. That's well below their average. And this is a team that comes in averaging 418 yards of total offense, and a majority of that through the air. And the Spartans have somewhat kept them in check. Probably the biggest number right there. This is the number 3 receiver in the nation, Aaron Paulin. 1 reception for 10 yards in that first half.
And he probably got shaken up on that first play that he had at the beginning of the game where he got hit pretty hard by our defense and probably shook him up a little bit. He did get that touchdown early in the first quarter, but he hasn't done much.
Yeah, he did come back after getting hit hard and had to be helped off the field, but he came back and got the 10-yard touchdown pass. But that is his only reception. Second down, Mylan Jones on the carry. He'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard they'll give him. Brad Young with the 3 receptions for 68 yards, but 57 of those came on 1 play and a touchdown reception. So the Spartans have really kept their passing attack in check. Of course, I mentioned at the outset that Tony Licavoli is a much better field goal kicker than a punter. Well, of course, he only averaged almost 41 yards a punt in the first half. His 4 punts, he booted all 4 of them pretty well.
And that's well above his average for the year.
Indeed, well above his average. Good 10 yards above his average. A little down and out to Paulie Forsyth is good for first down yardage on a third down play, and the Spartans will move the chains.
And the interesting thing is the time of possession. I mentioned it earlier in the game that Spartans have a running team, so they're going to hold the ball longer and wear down this Falcons defense, and it shows that Spartans had the ball for almost 20 minutes of the game, or the first half, and Concordia only had it for 10, so.
Hand off is Kyle Schrader up the middle. Sidesteps a couple of people and gets near midfield. Kyle Schrader trying to bounce the outside to break that. Couldn't quite keep his balance.
Kyle Schrader, our second leading rusher with 375 yards for the year. And today 31 yards and averaging a 4.4 per carry. Mylan Jones, again, having a terrific game today. 16 carries, 80 yards, 1 TD, 5 yards per carry.
This is Mylan here, and he's going to be close to the first down. He's wrapped up and dragged down. by Paul Jacobson. Mylan Jones 80 yards on 16 carries. Hamilton is their leading carrier, Eric Hamilton, with 21 yards total. The Spartans' defense has really kept them in check and kept that potent offense in line. And again, the main thing is the Spartan offense has moved the football and kept them off the field somewhat as well. Time of possession, Aurora, nearly 20 minutes in the first half of play, 19 minutes, 59 seconds. As you see, they're just inches short of the first down. Concordia had the ball all of 10 minutes and 1 second. I mean, that shows you right there. Now, they did run quite a few plays, but not nearly as many as the Spartans. Spartans twice as many. 50 plays for the Spartans in the first half, only 23 for Concordia. That makes a big difference.
It does. And Concordia is probably used to having a lot more plays in a game and just haven't been able to do it because the Spartans team just keeps pounding the ball at their defense and running the game, killing the clock. And that's what it takes to win football games, and Benedictine is learning that now. They're turning it into a rushing team, and they're showing that they can do it in this division. In this division, if you're a rushing team, you're going to win some games.
3rd and inches there, and the Spartans having the quarterback sneak pick up the first down. 1st and 10, Aurora U at the Concordia 45. Spartans looking to fall back into the lead. 14 all time here at Aurora University. Again, we're live on Saturday, the 4th of November here on Channel 17, Aurora University Television. This is Garrett Meyer rolling out left, scrambling, and is finally knocked down at about the 40-yard line.
Gain of
hard out there.
Gain of about 5 yards there for Garrett. That's what's good about him. He has good pocket presence and can run the ball, and that's why he's in this game. And he's been struggling the past couple of weeks, but Coach Scott showed his confidence in him. He's still in the game, and hopefully Garrett Meyer will lead this team to victory.
Well, you say freshman, but, you know, after a certain point, Mike McGinnis, coach up here at the box, said he's not a freshman anymore. You play enough games. You just don't look at him as freshmen anymore. You expect them to do some things after they've been out there for a couple of wins or more. Hand off to Kyle Schrader. Looks like he's got the first down, and indeed he does. As they move the chains again, the Spartans inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. They've got the Falcons back on their heels here in this opening drive.
That just comes to the first half of the Spartans holding the ball on the offense for almost 20 minutes and wearing down that defense. Defense gets back out there. Sure, they have a rest during halftime, but once they hit that field and start playing again, that wear and tear is going to hit them right away.
First down. Handoff. Mylan Jones bounces the outside. It's going to pick up 6-7 more quick yards. So the Spartans continue to eat up the clock, move the ball on the ground, do what they do best, and keep the ball out of the hands of Concordia.
And this is something that Concordia can't do if they want to win the game. They can't let people just rush 5 yards per carry because they're going to pound the ball straight through and get a touchdown after 20 plays.
Mylan Jones looking for his 3rd consecutive 100-plus yard rushing game. This time hit hard immediately and stood up as Joe Schmidt. He's probably going to lose a yard. And now a very late flag at the end of this play. I'm not sure what that's all about. Boy, the flag came from the far side way after that play was over. And the Spartans pointing that it's against Concordia. Some discussion at the end of that. Personal foul? No, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Ooh. That's not a good call to have. I mean, battles do get heated out there, but you got to maintain your composure on that field and not get those flags, because this is an important game and you're not allowed, you can't have those mistakes.
That's a fine line to draw, too. Aggressive game of football, and you also need to, you want to be emotional, but you got to try and keep those in line at some point. And, you know, they talked about that coming into this game, knowing what was on the line. It was a very high-intensity game and one where you can't let your emotions prevent you from what you've been doing all year and make you sometimes you're not as sharp because you're so keyed up.
And then that's an automatic first down, a big penalty.
There's Kyle Schrader going in for the touchdown, but a flag right away. I think illegal motion against the Spartans.
It's going to be called
back. Indeed, that's what it is. I thought Kyle Schrader started a little early too. Flag immediately on the snap.
I think it was the right tackle there that was that moved a little bit before that.
Well, that's going to back the Spartans up. 1st and 15 now, out to about the 19-yard line. Again, I'm Steve Moga along with Chris Klavinsky and our director Matt Neller. You're watching Aurora University Television, Channel 17, proudly presenting Division III college football. Aurora U hosting the Falcons of Concordia College in Wisconsin. Crowd on its feet, a pretty good contingent here from Concordia as well. Handoff inside. Kyle Schrader going to get back to the original line of scrimmage at about the 13-yard line or so. Well, I guess they had a fan bus as well come down from Macqueen? I have to look at my map and check that out. It's the north suburb of Milwaukee. I think it's Macqueen, something of that nature. There you see Ryan Glab keeping the leg loose. 2nd and 9. They give him about 6 yards in that last play, and now Concordia is going to call a timeout to make sure they've got everything straightened away. Jeff Gabrielson not very happy on the far side over there. Apparently they wanted somebody else in the game. Mike Gansch, senior from Wisconsin Rapids, came off the field. Apparently they had one too many guys out there. Let's see. Indeed, they had, because 44 as well just walked off, and he's 11, Craig Loscheider. So, yeah, Gantz was 12.
And the coach is furious on the Falcons sideline. He's not happy at all. And he's arguing with the ref about something as well.
Well, meanwhile, the Spartans huddle up, and there you see some of the fans here. The stands have actually cleared out a little bit here. We've got a great crowd on hand here. Just a humongous game, obviously, today, and beautiful weather. There you see defensive coordinator John Cooper, who's done a great job, as usual, getting the troops ready for today's game.
And we got a great crowd in the stands and fans surrounding the fence. Probably our biggest outturn this year.
Probably the biggest crowd, exactly, outside of homecoming. And even the homecoming crowd may not have been this big, just because it was not. That was probably the least preferential weather day we had. Nonetheless, be 2nd down and 9 now. Here we go. Spartan backs trying to decide where to be here, finally. Hand off. Joe Schmidt dives across inside the 10-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and about 4 play coming. All right, LeVar Evans. Legendary LeVar is going to take off. Third down. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Big play. Mylan Jones dives in the middle. Oh, a flag flies at the end of it. Gonna be close to the 1st down, but let's see what the flag is about here. The Spartans looking for a touchdown instead of a field goal. Officials are gonna talk things over again. And it's gonna be holding against the Spartans, so that is definitely gonna move AU back. Well, penalties in that first half, Chris. Concordia 3 penalties for 20 yards. The Spartans only 2 penalties, but 2 big ones for 27 yards. So
that's, you don't want those big penalties, but sometimes you can't avoid them.
And
we just saw the Falcons with a big penalty earlier for about 20 yards, and they'll get some, we'll get some, but hopefully we don't get a lot.
Well, that makes it 3rd and 13 now. A little bit different story than we had here just a moment ago. So Spartans will line things up here again. 2 wideouts to the right, LeBlanc and Forsythe. Bigham to the top, left-hand side, shotgun formation. Meyer steps back. Running backs on either side. He's going to step up, roll right. He's in trouble, and he's going to get sacked from behind. Going to lose probably a couple yards on the play. So now that turns into about a 37-yard field goal attempt here.
And Bigham was a little bit upset. Thought he was open and didn't get the ball there.
Well, Bigham to the far left side was open, but Garrett Meyer was looking more exclusively to the right-hand side and really didn't have the time to step and look to the left.
And they're going for it.
Well, they are going to go for it. 4th down, about 15 for Aurora. They got to get inside the 5-yard line for a 1st down. Here we go. Looking near that goal line. He's throwing across. He's got Bigham there, and it's knocked away incomplete. And the Falcons bend but don't break on defense.
That's a terrible story. Bigham almost had it there. Got his wish from the last play. Just couldn't hang on to it because of a strong defensive hold by the Falcons.
Well, not only a defensive hold, but an offensive holding on the Spartans really broke their back in that one. Falcons are going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 20, so.
And it's hard to pound the ball when you're 3rd and 13, and they can't do that. They have to go to the pass, and passes don't always work.
Well, the running game is definitely Aurora's bread and butter. Passing, that would be Concordia, so let's see what Polasek can do here. They finally get their hands on the football. Quick pitch out, right-hand side, dancing around Hamilton. He's going to get maybe only a couple of yards, never does quite go to the ground, but they stand him up and push him back. Well, not only top teams playing here, but the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin, the also neighboring conference, rival conference in many ways to Aurora U and some of the other teams. That's turned into 4 top teams over in that league. And off inside, doesn't look like it's going to go much of anywhere. It hit initially and finally brought down. Looked like Schweinler there for the tackle, but earlier in the year it was Milliken, Wheaton, and Illinois Wesleyan, the top 3 teams, but Augustana has crept into there, even though they're 3-2 in that conference. They're 6-2 overall. Wheaton also 6-2. Illinois Wesleyan 7-1. Milliken 8-0, looking to sew up that conference title in an automatic postseason bid as well. And many times the conference champion there gets a bid, and maybe 1 or 2 other teams will see postseason action as well from that conference. Perennially strong just about every year over the years in D3 football. Here we go, 3rd and 3. Shotgun formation, he's got a man out. Underthrows him, incomplete. Oh my goodness, and Polasek is just incredibly upset with himself. He had Paulin wide open.
And the offensive coordinators for the Falcons aren't too happy with that play. You can see up here in the booth, not too many offensive coordinators would be happy with that play.
Man, that was just, he was there quick down and out. He had him open and just, I think he tried to throw it too hard and too fast, and he just threw a bullet into the ground and nosed the football diving on him and never got there. Boy, just get the football out there and he's got it easy. High snap, goes up and gets it almost blocked by Tyson LeBlanc. Kip Daniels at his own 40. Gets away from one man, dances across midfield. He's got some running room. If he can get away from one, he can get around the corner. Yes, around the 50, and still dancing along the sideline, and they're going to push him out at about the 40. Now he's completely buried.
That's a personal foul on the Falcons.
Completely buried at the end of that play after he's knocked out of bounds, and the flags fly.
Wow. And the Spartans team swarm around Kip Daniels saying, good job. And they're happy with that. That's a big flag, a really big flag.
Oh, a great return by Kip Daniels, and he get around that corner at midfield, knew he's going to get some more yardage out of it. Couldn't quite keep his balance. Personal foul against Concordia. So not only were the Spartans, were they looking at good field position to start with, now they're really going to look at good field position.
This is just, if we get no penalties here, this is a touchdown. This is a running touchdown, an easy running touchdown, especially the way the Spartans have been running today. Just hand that ball off right off to Mylon Jones.
Man, oh man, they're going to start this at the 26-yard line after it's walked off. 1st and 10 for Aurora U. I just about used a boy, oh boy there for my buddies Bill Knutson, Todd King, and Jay Behrens. Those guys are probably all watching somewhere. That's for you guys. Boy, oh boy. What a play. Backs in the eye. Whitehouse either side. Quick pitch. Mylon Jones, short side of the field. And nothing there. They stack it up quite nicely. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Got about just under 7 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter. It's going pretty fast here in the 2nd half.
Well, indeed, the Spartans, with possession most of the time, they're keeping the ball on the ground, and that clock is continuing to run. Rolling left as soon as I say run. Here he's going to look in the pass. Meyer, and he's just going to dump it out there and get it away. Probably a good decision on his part that time to throw the ball away, because he had some pressure coming from the backside.
And now the Spartans are in another 3rd and long situation, something that they don't like to be in because they have to pass. This is a running team, but with Garrett Meyer in there, they can pass. So we'll see what Jim Scott's going to have his coordinators call.
Well, 3rd and 10, they've got to get some yardage here. 1 first down would be real nice to say the least. And, you know, if you don't, you're looking at a 42-yard field goal from right here. I'm not so sure that would be an option. Shotgun again. Pressure, so step up the middle. He's got some running room. He cuts to the left. He's going to get out there and inside the 20, close to the 20.
And that doesn't look like it'll be enough. He's going to have about 4 yards to go.
Indeed, he's going to be short by about 4 yards. So 4th down and 4 at the 20. Again, this would be now about a 37-yard field goal.
And Coach Scott
Definitely
said
makeable.
Yeah, he said he's not afraid to put Ryan out there in situations like this. He thinks he can do it, but they're going to go for it. They want that touchdown. They know a field goal is not going to win a game for them right here, but the touchdown will make it a lot harder on the Falcons.
Exactly. Touchdown is going to be more important here than 3 points probably. Rolling right, under pressure, steps up. He's got a receiver across the middle. Tyson LeBlanc, he's got it at the 5, inside diving, touchdown! Tyson LeBlanc found a seam in the middle.
And that's the story of a game. That's persistence, and that's what Coach Scott has. The running game, you beat them down, and then you do what you have to do, and you score, and whether you throw it or you pass it, but the defense going down. And now we can breathe a little bit.
Whew, you're not kidding. 20-yard touchdown pass to Tyson LeBlanc. Flab on for the extra point kick. Everything looks good. The kick is up, and it is good, and the Spartans have a 21-14 lead.
And let's see if Concordia can come back from this, from how they've been playing so far in the second half. They're not gonna. They lost a lot of the composure, some big penalties, some bad offensive plays, and looks like we might have this game, especially how our defense has been playing the second half. Don't want to
see it again, and LeBlanc diving into the end zone. Well, credit Garrett Meyer there for stepping up away from the pressure, the spot he needed to give that little extra time for LeBlanc to cut across the middle, and he hauled it in and did the rest himself from about the 7-yard line on in. Huge play for Aurora U as they take the lead 21-14.
We didn't score, we just got a kick. We got within kicking distance.
And Concordia is ready to receive this.
Correct, yes it is.
So meeting down on the Spartan sideline with the offensive unit.
Paul Hefty and the offensive crew talking about things there they did right and did wrong perhaps. Clabb set the kickoff for the Spartans. Pretty good kickoff all the way back to about the 4-yard line. This looks to be Steve Fluellen, and he is dropped short of the 20.
And he just slipped down on that one. Thinking maybe the Falcons need some new cleats. See a lot of them slipping around here tonight.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time at least today we've seen a kick return man for them. Like you say, try and stop and just slide. And they seem to be the only ones on the field having that difficulty getting their footing, but they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line.
Well, maybe they got senior return men and they just kept the same shoes from the freshman year. And they're wearing out towards the end of the season.
Well, you know, the field gets beat up over the course of the year between football and soccer. Looks pretty good shape now. They're going long. They're going for all of it across the middle. He's got a man there. And hit hard. What a grab. Pulling hung on to the football. Tony Ruby was there step for step with him, but a perfectly thrown football. Kip Daniels hit him hard trying to jar it loose, but he held on to it all the way across midfield to the Aurora U41. Just like that, they've got life back.
The number 26, Rustin Cluin, is just a little bit shaky after that.
Yeah, I said Paulin, but that is, Rustin Cluin, senior from Princeton, Wisconsin, hauled that in stride and hit hard and hung on to it. 1st and 10 at the Aurora U42 is where they're going to spot it. 2 wideouts to either side, lone back. That's the lone back. Hamilton goes nowhere. The Spartans just smother him.
Todd Bassage was just there.
And the Spartans saying they have the football. Bassage comes out of the pile with the football, but I believe the officials blew it dead before that.
Officials are ruling 2nd down.
Well, Spartan players getting awful excited, saying, hey, well, we've got it. But Officials blew his forward progress dead quite quickly. He was going nowhere. And it'll be second and about 11. They're going to give him a loss of a yard. Again, a lone back is Hamilton. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the top of the screen. Fakes the handoff, looking. Here comes the pressure. He's going to have to scramble. Gets away from 1 man, cuts the outside, and dives forward. Maybe a yard or 2 gain before Jeremy Benson and Schweinler there, and Cleary and Bassich and Shy to go on.
Yeah.
Jason Langston, they were all there.
That's our defensive unit. That's why we got guys in number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, in the top 6 or 7 guys in the top 10 of tackles for losses. That's because so many of them aren't always there. I mean, if you take 2 of those guys out, then you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 guys in that game to have the stats up.
Oh, here we go, 3rd and 9. Spartan coaches trying to yell out some instructions. Now we're going to have a timeout on the field, and I think it's going to be Aurora U. Indeed, the Spartans didn't like something he saw there and decided to call timeout. They need to change something up defensively. We have the coaches right next to us up here in the press box, and believe me, the walls are not paper thin, but it doesn't matter.
We heard them yelling.
You can hear them loud and clear.
Yeah. telling Kip Daniels to give it up, or back it up. I'm not sure exactly what they wanted him to do, but he wasn't doing something that they wanted him to do.
You see Paul Hefty in between people there, the offensive coordinator. That's Vince McMahon, special teams coach as well.
Vince McMahon, doesn't he own a wrestling company?
A different Vince McMahon.
Ah, I see.
It's the Spartans version of XFL, I think,
Yeah.
right here. Jim Scott, again, his 15th year as a defensive coordinator. John Cooper has been with them all 15, and that's who the coaches up here in the press box, they have his ear down on the sideline with the headphones, and they were yelling instructions to him to pass along down the field. Also, Paul Hefty, of course, offensive coordinator. Vince McMahon, Mike McGinnis, Mike Olzek, Joe Nauman, all the coaches, student assistants, Mark Anderson, Benny Boyd, and Ryan Egler as well. All doing a tremendous job all season long. Well, here we go, 3rd and 9. 2 wideouts to either side this time, 1 back. Shotgun. Polasek looking, here comes the blitz. On either side, he steps up. He gets away from it. He fakes the throw. Now he's going to tuck it under. He gets by Watson, and he's going to be awful close to the first down. He may have it.
I think he does have that.
Regardless, they're in 4-down territory at this point. Knocked out of bounds eventually by Robert Watson, but they're going to call officials timeout for a measurement right in front of the Aurora bench. It's going to be awful hard to see this.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, just a nice play that time. He avoided the blitz from either side. The Spartans came with everybody, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
And they came around to the outside of him as he stepped up and faked. The pump fake is what sold Robert Watson to step up, and then he was able to cut to the outside and get away from him a little bit. And indeed, he has the first down.
Unfortunately.
There you see Rich Bigham on the sideline, hoping he and the offense can get back on the field. 3:32 to go here in our 3rd quarter. A lot of football left yet. We've got a fantastic game here, just as we expected. The 2 top teams in the Illini-Badger going for a postseason bid and a conference title. 1st and 10 at the 32 of Aurora U. Shotgun again. 3 wideouts to the right this time. Looking that side. Fakes, and he's going to get hit. Hammered and dropped for a loss. Joe Thompson with the sack.
That was a huge sack. Just had no one touching him. Just walked right in there and took out the quarterback.
Well, we talked about the Spartan defense being all over the conference leaders in tackles for loss category. As I thumb through my pile of papers here, where did I put that? There it is. That's the one I wanted. Defensively, the Spartans, just so many guys have been in on it all season long. Somebody different steps up just about every play. Here comes the blitz again. He dumps it off the running back, and there again, a great play. Schweinler wraps him up, fighting off a block, and drops him for another loss.
And that was Joe Thompson's 4th sack on the year that we just saw before that. So He's up there.
I'm sorry, Chris. Jason Laraki leading Spartans coming into today with 76 tackles on the season. Bassich with 61, Schweinler with 55, Ruby with 53, Richter with 52, Benson with 48, Reveter with 46, Joe Thompson with 42, Cleary with 39, Daniels with 32. I mean, you got that many guys spread out, making a lot of tackles. Everybody's getting in on the act. Fake blitz again. Shotgun third and about 25. Steps up and is going to be dropped for another loss. Spartans continue to come after him, and it's Jeremy Benson this time.
There we go. That's the Spartans defense we were talking about that hasn't allowed a touchdown. This Concordia team was right there. Weren't able to take care of it.
26 sacks on the year coming into today. Bassich leading the way with 8, Benson with 7, and they have added to that list, to say the least, today here. Well, 4th and 23 they called on the scoreboard. Here comes the punt.
That was actually a good snap. We haven't seen a good snap from their center on punts all
Great
game.
punt as it goes away from Kip Daniels to that southwest corner into the shadow over there and bounces out at about the 5-yard line. So with 1:19 to go in our third quarter, Aurora U takes over from their own 5 with a long ways to go. And they play that game of field position now at this point if you can't move the chains a few different times.
And there was Kip Daniels right there that we just saw, the Iron Man of the team.
You're not kidding. Kip Daniels does just about everything.
As soon as the season ends, he's going to take a nice week off and relax a little bit.
1st and 10. Here we go. Handoff. Mylan Jones into the pile. Gets wrapped up and dragged down. Might have gotten a yard or two. They're actually going to give him 3 yards on the play.
Well, looking at the Concordia roster, they have people from all over the country. Florida, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Texas, California, Michigan. They're a pretty well spread out team. A lot of Florida players, though, that I'm noticing.
Mylan Jones again, the ball carrier, is going to get close to that first down. It's going to be about 3rd and a long 2 now for the Spartans outside the 10-yard line. Well, the one that just popped out that I saw here was Venice Beach, California, Venice High School. A long ways from the beach.
Oh, very far. He's probably not used to these cold winters. 2nd year here, he's a sophomore. Second for Concordia.
Rolling left, he's got a man out there. Anthony Armstrong, the reception. He's got running room and a blocker in front of him. Tyson LeBlanc still on his feet all the way out to the 45-yard line. A huge play for Aurora U.
There's that burst of speed you talked about with Anthony Armstrong. Got that ball just like that. Got about 20, 25 yards.
Boy, what a great run after the reception. And Tyson LeBlanc out there just staying in between the defender that was there. 2 fast afoot players, and they had some running room. Last play of the third quarter, Schrader stacked up, and he's going to lose yardage.
He's going to lose big yardage there. That's about 4 or 5 yards on that play that he lost.
So we head into the 4th and final quarter here at Aurora U, the last home game for these seniors. And they lead Concordia, Wisconsin right now, 21-14. There you see it up in your upper left hand of your screen. The Spartans in front. As we go to the final 15 minutes of the postseason bid on the line, the Spartans' one and only trip to the postseason, 1992. Spartans were 9-0 that year. Headed down to Illinois Wesleyan in Bloomington for the postseason that year. They lost that game 21-11. But they're looking for their second postseason bid. Well, as we get ready to start our 4th quarter here, Chris, we both would like to, and everyone on our crew here would like to pass along a congratulations to our operations manager, Nadine Martinez, who found out is expecting twins. Sometime around March. She's going to have a little of her own March Madness, I think, this year.
Oh, yeah. Twins, that's a lot to handle. Nadine handles the station pretty well, and all the students there, so I'm sure she'll have an easy time with twins.
Yeah, you're not kidding. So congratulations to the boss. That is great news. Well, as we switch things around, it'll be second and about 13 for the Spartans at their own 42-yard line is what we're going to be faced with here. The Spartans will head to that south end zone into the sun a little bit, hoping their season doesn't go into the sunset, so to speak. Crowd making some noise. Again, a pretty good contingent from Concordia here as well. Shotgun, quick down and out. There's Forsythe, comes back to the ball. He's got some running room in the middle of the football field, dives forward, and he's close to the first down marker, almost the 45-yard line of Concordia.
And Polly Forsythe is the team's leading receiver with 23 on the season coming in before this game.
Ollie having a good day.
Including this game, I think that makes him up to 24 for the day. That was his first or second catch, I believe. Maybe second catch of the game here in the second half.
Mylan Jones awful close to the first down. Off tackle, and
We got the first.
that is possibly close enough. They're going to measure. He's looking at it. Nope, first down, Aurora U.
That sounded good for Aurora. This Falcon defense almost looks beat. Their heads are down, and
They've been on the field a long time today. Again, the Spartans at halftime had the ball almost 20 minutes of that first half to only 10 minutes for Concordia, and that has been even more so in the Spartans' favor here in the second half. They have just had the Falcon defense on the field all day. Meyer tucks it under this time, and they're keeping him safe. And he's upended, a nice hit. But he's going to get a big gainer.
took that hit right in the legs, and that's something that can hurt a knee, but Gary Meyer, young guy, he's not going to run away from a hit. He's not going to slide into it. He's going to get those extra 2 or 3 yards.
Well, he's going to be awful close to the first down. They're going to call time again, officials time again for another measurement. There you see Tyson LeBlanc standing right next to the officials to get a look at things. One of the Spartans' captains.
Tyson's always in there anytime there's a flag thrown, anything going on in the field with officials. He makes sure he's up there and he knows what's going on because he wants to keep his team informed. He wants to be informed that way. He knows what's going on in the field.
Well, he's got first down as they measure it off. We're going to take another look at it.
So Gary Meyer couldn't find anyone, so he just tucks it under and runs and takes that hit and does a little flip.
Well, that extra little dive forward made all the difference. First and 10 Aurora U now at the Concordia 33-yard line.
Tyson LeBlanc and Polly Forsythe are split.
And off inside Kyle Schrader. Not much there. Well, Chris, if the Spartans can tack on another touchdown here, that would be very huge. Go a long way
A touchdown or a field goal.
toward a victory. Well, indeed, it would. Either way, they'd have to score twice. And so far, what we've seen from their offense here in the second half, they may not be capable of that. Now that I just jinxed us, I'll talk about this next play. 2nd and 9, rolling right. Meyer under pressure, dumps it off, and nice completion to one of their coaches on the sideline over there, just throwing it away to get rid of it.
And that was a good call by Garrett Meyer. I didn't see any receivers open, and certainly doesn't want to throw an interception at a pivotal part of the game right here.
Good idea just to get rid of the football. You see some of the many fans ring around the field here today. 3rd down and 9. Forsythe to the top. LeBlanc to the bottom. 2 backs, Armstrong and Schmidt. Shotgun formation, Garrett Meyer. Here they fake blitz. No, they do come with a blitz. He steps up under pressure. A holding flag probably going to fly there. As the ball pops free at the end of that. Concordia's got the football, but a flag is going to bring that back regardless. That's holding against the Spartans. And the Concordia staff is just
Freaking out about something.
they're just beside themselves. They are extremely unhappy with something there about the officials. Well, the flag flew long before the
Coach Scott is even out on that field.
holding against the Spartans.
stand next to Rich Bigham. And
All right, well, they're discussing this. I haven't seen that too often. Every single official all together huddled up like that with their arms around each other saying, okay.
the Falcons are saying they have
team
the
go.
ball.
Defense.
Well, indeed, that's okay. They decline a penalty and they get the football on the fumble. Exactly. That's what I thought it was going to be the end result of all that. But
And that, Coach Scott isn't happy with that.
all right,
Took
So-
off his hat. That's not a good sign.
so they will take over at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10. And boy, the Spartans just lost a golden opportunity to get some points here. They were moving into position to make Concordia score twice. Now they score. They can also go for 2 here as well, Chris. You never know what's going to happen. Shotgun formation. 3 wide outs at the top of the screen. 1 to the right. Fakes pumps. Oh, some pressure. He's going long. He's got a man out there, but right there is Kip Daniels, and that ball sailed a little bit over both Daniels and the receiver out there.
Looked like it picked up a gust of wind, and instead of falling like it should have, it just kept going.
Steve Llewellyn out there, and that ball sailed over his head as well, but
There's Kip Daniels again.
a hard hit right after he let go that I didn't see which Spartan laid into him, but Polasek is the man who is down on the field right now.
And he's hurting. He's not. That doesn't look good.
No, it does not.
He's shaking his leg in some pain.
Their backup quarterback is sophomore Brad Sonnerborn, 6'1", 200-pounder from Hollywood Christian High School in Pembroke Pines, Florida. He is their backup, and I don't see him out there yet. Their trainer's still taking a look at Polasek.
And
Well, again, the Spartans travel to Valparaiso regardless of the outcome of this game here today. They travel next Saturday to Valpo with a 12:30 p.m. kickoff.
I was talking with Anthony Armstrong earlier this week, and he said he wants that win. He said his freshman year we beat them. In the past 2 years they creamed us, and
Yes, they did.
he wants to go down there and he wants to cream them. He wants to go to their home turf and just pound them into submission, and that's the feeling that most of the team has about that game. And they're in no way looking past Concordia, but as soon as this game's over, they're looking to go down to Valpo and kick some butt.
Well, Polasek jogs off under his own power, but he is going to come out of this football game. He no longer has a helmet. He's probably looking, hey, where's my helmet? There, he finally got it back. But in the meantime, we will have a different quarterback. Well, indeed, the Spartans the last 2 years, 2 years ago at Valpo, just didn't show up. They just did not show up. They had won 7 in a row in their undefeated first season in the Illini-Badger Conference and went down to Valpo and just did not play well, kind of went through the motions, it seemed like. And
they think they could
Got
beat
beat
Valpo
badly.
this year.
well, Valpo is undoubtedly the hardest game on the Spartan schedule this year. Valpo having a very good season as well.
They're a nationally ranked team,
And another sack. Jeremy Benson tracks down Juan Ramos.
and Joe Thompson was there along with Jeremy Benson. Jeremy Benson should get the credit for that sack, but let's mention Joe Thompson because he was in there too.
Well, they brought in freshman Juan Ramos from Venice High School in Northport, Florida. Of course, I said Sonnerborn would be the backup. That's what they've got listed as on their 2 deep is Sonnerborn, but number 8 Ramos comes into the game instead, and he did not look very good there trying to roll left. He was tracked down quite easily, so quickly Polasek back into the game. 5 wideouts, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Shotgun, Polasek stepping up under pressure again. Has to dive. Richter, Basic there. They're going to drop him. He may get back to the original line of scrimmage, give him a yard gain, and it'll be 4th and about 20.
And our defense is holding up once again. Spartan defense just shows up in the second half. Regardless of what happens in the first half, second half, they're probably the best defense in the conference, if not one of the best defenses in D3 football.
Just amazing. Week in and week out, they have been superb in the second half. John Cooper and his cohorts on the defensive side of the football just do a great job getting these guys prepared at halftime, making adjustments. Just does get the punt away. Kip Daniels at his own 45. Takes off to the right. He's got an opening. He's got some running room. He's still on his feet. He's all the way inside the 30-yard line. The Spartans in business again.
And Kip Daniels having quite a day on these returns. It's the second one that he's returned for big, big yards. And
take another look at it, Chris. 26-yard return for Kip Daniels.
He settles down for a second, just lets defense take their place, and then just weaves and bobs right around him. And they finally take him down after he gains 26 yards and puts the team in great position for a touchdown and or a field goal.
Kip Daniels came into the day number 19 in the nation in punt returns at 13.2 yards per return. Hand off the inside, and maybe a couple of yards for Anthony Armstrong. And, we mentioned the Spartans have seen some of the top receivers in D3 football. They've seen some of the best quarterbacks, some of the best running backs, guys who are all on the national list. And punt returns, Elliott Turner is the leader in the nation in punt returns from Greenville, averaging 32.9 yards per return. Joey Pakzatko from Benedictine is number 10 in the nation. Here's a nice run. Almost broke for touchdown yardage for Anthony Armstrong. He's going to be close to that first down.
And you look at all these stats and you're seeing all these players that Aurora's faced, and they're in the top of the nation for D3 football. And then you don't see any Aurora players. Well, that's because they spread the wealth on this team.
Indeed, they do. Spreading the wealth here again. Mylan Jones, he's going to be stacked up. I don't know if he got there. He needed to get just inside the 20 for the first down. It could be fourth down play coming.
Coach Scott is very good about making sure that it's not just one player on this team that's getting all the credit. And you look at the stats, and you go down to the top 10 players on the defense, and they're very similar in stats. And that's because that's just great coaching. That's saying, hey, you know what? No one person makes this team. It's all you guys.
Well, you're going to need everybody right here. Fourth down, less than a yard, 9:45 and a running clock to go in our game. The Spartans trying to pick up a big first down inside the 20. Quarterback sneak. Garrett Meyer, I don't think he got there. I don't think he got it. Not much movement up front. The other two times they've done that quarterback sneak on fourth and short or third and short, whatever the case has been, they've had a good surge up front. That time they did not get a surge at all. Concordia says he didn't make it. The official wants to measure. Their defense is coming off the field saying, hey, we stopped him. And I think they did.
It looks like they did. It looks like as soon as Garrett hit that line that he just fell backwards and was taken down to the side.
Well, I got a moment here. Also in that category, punt returning, 14th in the nation, Adrian Gongora from Eureka. The Spartans have seen him earlier in the year. And John Hambleton from McMurray. They saw him 2 weeks ago. He's 21st in the nation. So just about every opponent, it seems like, has had a great return man. Well, they are short, so Concordia takes over. They've got 9:24 to work with. They need to go 80 yards to tie this thing up.
And our defensive unit is hitting the team, or hitting the field, and against this what would seem to be a potent Concordia offense, but they haven't done anything here in the second half or much in the game at all.
No, they have not. The Spartans' defense has kept them in check. They put pressure on Polasek, to say the least. Here we go, 1st and 10. 3 wideouts, lone back. Looking to the right side, nothing there. He tries to step up. He's going to get sacked again. Jeremy Benson right there.
It seems like every week we're out here.
Oh, now there's a late flag thrown at the end of this play. Clifton Rogers, the head referee. Well, something happened there. Somebody made contact or something there from the Spartans at the end of that play with the quarterback.
Here, we'll get a replay of that right here.
I might have to bring that up just a little. There we go.
And it's against the Spartans.
Interesting.
And I didn't see it on that replay.
Well, there must have been something there, illegal contact of some sort by the Spartans. It's a big penalty, a 15-yarder, personal foul type thing. So a huge mistake by AU. They had the sack. Instead, it's 1st and 10 all the way out to the 34-yard line. Handoff, Hamilton, another flag. Boy, into the pile. And now another late flag on this side.
There's something happening. The refs are looking at something.
Well, they'll try and sort all this out. Boy, we've had quite a few flags here in the second half. Oh, there we go. Illegal procedure against Concordia. So they'll go backwards. 8:48 to go in our game.
Well, hopefully the refs don't keep this up going back and forth, because really no point to redoing plays after each penalty.
It's a little tiresome after a while, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
1st and 15. Ball at the Concordia 29-yard line. They got 71 yards to go, and they can get there in a hurry. They've got definitely an explosive offense here, but Spartans have kept them in check so far. Here comes the blitz. Richter to the right side from the back, and he's going to get flushed out. Tried to get out of the pocket, and is going to get sacked, dropped for another loss.
And I don't see any flags. It's a good
No
sign.
flags. It is a good sign indeed. Joe Thompson, Richter, Bassich, take your pick. They're all right up there.
Really doesn't matter who takes them down, because every time QB gets sacked, everyone's there.
Well, just a great job, these seniors. It's just showed here the senior leadership up front. Benson, Thompson, Naraki, all those guys, seniors, Bassich, all playing their last home game, and they're just leaving it all out in the field right now. Quick dump across the middle, and wrapped up right away by Chris Cleary, and Kip Daniels comes over to finish him off.
And the Falcons are learning why the Spartans are so hard to defeat and why they're undefeated in the conference.
Be 3rd and 15 at the 30. They've got to get all the way out to the 44-yard lines. Actually, they're inside the 30, about the 29. Well, another big 3rd down play for the AU defense. They can get the ball back here. The Spartans could go a long ways, running a lot of time off the clock. Pivotal time at that. 4 wideouts, shotgun formation. Here we go. He's got a man out there, throws it out, he underthrows him. Craig Revetter there with the interception. Revetter takes it away.
And our defensive backs have just been phenomenal today. They gave up one big play, and there's Craig right there on the screen. Senior, had him on a couple weeks ago.
Senior from Gary, Indiana, with a huge interception. Not only does it prevent them from a nice gain,
And there's a
he had a
replay of
man
that.
out there. There you see it, but he underthrew his receiver, Revetter, there. But probably a little bit better field position than the Spartans would have had if Concordia would have punted the football. So our AU starting at their own 40. 6:50 on a running clock to go here. Schrader up the middle. He'll get about 3.
In the past couple of sets of downs, Concordia's been playing a lot better run defense.
Well, again, that offensive line will give them a plug up front. Matt Hartzell, Brian Megley, Toby Nickham, Jeff Knapp, Dave Brummel. All those guys have been doing a tremendous job up front. Chris Mitchell's been in there quite a bit today as well. Now rolling, looking Meyer. Gets away somehow, cuts to the outside, and is going to get stood up just short of the 50-yard line. Boy, a couple great blocks thrown that time, that sequence.
Garrett Meyer's a little slow.
But now Meyer, a little slow to get up.
His teammates say, hey, you're not hurt. Get up. They just pull him up.
Get back on your feet. So he is short of that first down. It'll be 3rd and about 1. Can't forget a tight end, Jeff Pfeiffer. Been in there doing a solid job all day today. Haven't seen his number called in a pass pattern yet. Spartans leading 21-14. There you see Coach Hefty. Not wearing the traditional blue today. We're going to have to ask him what that's all about. He doesn't have a Spartan blue on.
Maybe he wanted to look good for the television cameras today.
He'll tell you he looks good all the time, probably.
He could have been he was probably counting on a victory already and wanted to look good for all the pictures that we're going to be taking of him to be thrown in the paper.
Well, there you see a somewhat dejected side of the field for Concordia. There's some of the fans as well. The Spartans trying to hold on here. Looking for another undefeated Illini-Badger Conference season, 3rd consecutive, 3rd year of the conference. The Spartans have been the champion the first 2 years. This one, of course, as we've mentioned, carries a postseason bid with it if they can hold on and win this game. Spartans up 21-14.
And update on the Benedictine-Greenville game. Benedictine is leading 27-17.
Oh. Well, that would make the Eagles 6-1 in conference play. And again, if Concordia wins this game, they're 6-1. Aurora U, of course, would be the loser if Concordia wins this game. That would make Aurora 6-1. And then we go on some point differential systems, and I'm going to ask you about those. Mylan Jones throwing a big carry for first down yardage and then some. Across midfield, almost to the 40.
Well, right now Benedictine's -2 in division play, against these two teams, so they're out of it. So the winner of this game is gonna be the champion if Concordia can win by more than 5 points.
Mylan Jones to the right side. Gonna bowl forward for some more yardage. 5 minutes and counting now as the clock runs. Spartans looking for their second postseason bid. 1992, Aurora U went 9-0 in the regular season in a hard-fought last game of the season. Victory against Wartburg here at Spartan Field got them to the playoffs. Kyle Schrader dives ahead forward. And about 3 more yards. When the Spartans made the playoffs that year, by the way, Chris, they were the first Chicagoland team to ever participate in the D3 football playoffs.
That's something for the Spartans to be proud of. Hopefully they can get in there again and say, we're still a good team and we've always been a good team.
Handoff, Anthony Armstrong. He's going to be short of that first down and a little second effort bounce. Depends on where they mark it. Actually, it looks like he's going to get a real good spot, and I think he's got it.
If he doesn't have it, it's only about an inch. An inch or a half an inch.
First down, Aurora U. That's a huge play. Now the officials stop the clock. Now what was that all about? Well, that's going to be Concordia calling timeout. Saw the head referee signal first down. Now they're going to discuss things here. In the meantime, Garrett Meyer will take the opportunity to run over to Paul Hefty and talk things over with him. Vince McMahon as well there. You know, they're closing up shop in the concession stand. Too late now for us, Chris.
I thought we were able to get a end of the game snack, but
I guess not.
They like to close things up on us. I think Garrett Meyer's asking if he can throw up a few quick, deep passes.
Well, the officials signaling my time, not Concordia time. It was my time. There a little miscommunication, a little confusion. The officiating crew, they've moved the chains. First down, now they're going to start the clock up. So 1st and 10 Aurora U at the 30-yard line. Clock running again, 3:40 to go. Spartans trying to salt away this game at a conference victory. Looking for 21 in a row, 21-0 in the Illini-Badger Conference if they can hold on. Handoff is Joe Schmidt to the right side. He'll carry a couple defenders, get about 3 more yards.
And now Coach Scott is just killing time. That's all he needs to do. He could go for a quick score here, but he doesn't need to. He just needs to kill the clock, which is already down to about 3 minutes. And the way Concordia is playing, it's not going to be a big deal even if they do get the ball back.
Well, anything is possible, though. We have dropped the ball on a number of occasions this year. That is the main thing right now. Hold on to the football. Well, Garrett Meyer got explicit instructions, I think, to wait every single time till that play clock gets down to about 15 before he walks up to the line. Make sure as much time as possible. There's Mylan Jones, almost broke it. He dives across the 25 to about the 22-yard line.
I think he dove about 4 yards on that one.
See him hopping off the field there. He's like, oh, man, I should have had that one. Under 2.5 minutes to go. 3rd and 2, and again, the Spartans wait as long as possible. Now the play clock, still waiting for that to start.
Our offensive line does deserve some credit. They've been out here the whole game. And
well, I'm not sure why the play clock's not running.
There we go.
Well, Clifton Rogers, I'm sure, has a time down there on the field. And indeed, now he calls delay a game. Well, he started it when he thought it should have been started. That was probably the right call. It's just the problem is he should have just killed things right then and there.
That's not a call that should be called.
He should have killed things right then and there when the play clock didn't start, probably because the Spartan offense is looking at the play clock going, okay, it's only at 15. I can take my time going up to the line. But he talks it over with Jim Scott, and Coach Scott accepts that as explanation. So 2:02 to go. They're going to walk off the yardage against the Spartans. So instead of third and 2, it's 3rd down and 7 now. A little different story.
Well, we'll see what's happening here. It doesn't look like the officials are moving the ball. They're concurring with the Concordia coach, saying if he agrees that maybe they should just start over. I mean, that's what Coach Scott brought up. He looked at his players and said that's fine. So,
well, they're just letting him know what's going on there, I guess.
And we have another official meeting, it looks like.
Well, we've had pretty good officiated games all season long, it seems like. And today, however, the crew has been a little inconsistent at times, it seems like. But he was right on that one, at least. The play clock should have been running. And he obviously was keeping it on the field.
Well, they could be talking about that play at Waubonsie Community College that only costs $5. Mousetrap. It's a murder mystery. It's something fun to see. Something to expand your mind or just have a good time.
Now,
starts at 8 o'clock.
That's the Sugar Grove campus?
That's Sugar Grove campus.
All right.
Right off of Route 47.
That's not far from here at all.
And it's cheaper than a movie. Only $5. Tickets go on sale between 7:15 and 7:30. Plenty of seats available. But it will be packed eventually.
Okay, they're trying to get all this sorted out now. So now they've moved, hold on a second, they've moved it back. So now he's going to do what I was saying before, what he should have done right from the get-go. 3rd and 2. And he should have stopped things as soon as he saw that the play clock was not running.
And they didn't add time to the...
So, yeah, they're going to add only 10 seconds, however, to the game clock. 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
There we go. The clock has been changed to 2:12 instead of 2:02. Keep the Concordia coach a little happy. And
well, the play clock was at 12 when Clifton Rogers, blew the play dead and called delayed game. So at some point, there should have been, I think, more than 10 seconds added to that thing.
And for some reason,
at least 13, or I mean at least 12 seconds were still left. So,
and now the play clock has been turned off. I guess maybe that's an official word saying you can't use that for the game now since we had a problem with it.
Well, they don't want to leave that to any possible technical difficulty, so they'll keep that down on the field. So that may take a little bit of something away from the Spartans, but if they pick up the first down here, they could just about do away with it anyway. Clock running again. Here we go, 3rd and 2. Handoff. Kyle Schrader, he's going to be close. I don't think he got it, though.
No, he was stuffed. I don't even think he got a yard on that.
Going to be close. It'll be 4th down regardless. Like I say, the one thing that does take away from our offense down in the field is that they couldn't run that extra few seconds each play, run that off, letting the play clock run down. Now you don't know exactly what the play clock is.
Yeah. You don't even know if the game clock is right. Something with clock problems and referees today.
Oh, here, this is it. This is the ball game. This is the season right here. 4th down and 1, a minute and a half of running clock. The Spartans are either going to give them the football back or they're going to get a first down and be able to run this clock out. Handoff, they've got it. Joe Schmidt, first down.
And barring a miracle, Spartans are the new division champions.
Indeed, barring a miracle, Aurora U will be your 2000 Illini-Badger Conference champions, 3rd consecutive year undefeated, 21 in a row, and this time...
And the play clock is going. It stopped there for a second. I was wondering what was happening there.
Game clock starts again, and Spartans take their time going up to the line, nearing 1 minute to go. And there it is, the 1 minute mark left in our game. Spartans line up, hand off, Mylan Jones. He'll just get a couple yards. And tell you what, the Spartans will probably have to run maybe 1 or 2 more plays. They're going to use one of their timeouts right here. So 51 seconds left, Concordia calls time.
Concordia still thinks they're in this game. They are for the most part, but they only got 3 timeouts.
Well, they used one earlier here in this half, I believe, because as you recall, they had 12 players on the field at one point.
And there's a Spartan Sports hotline, 844-3838. If you miss any games or want to get the stats or anyone for anything like that, for any of the AU games, just call 844-3838. Or if you're on campus, just call 3838. That's compliments of Lane Stahl. He does a great job with that and always keeps it updated every day.
All right, 51 seconds to go. 2nd and 8. They'll give Mylan Jones just a couple yards on that, but they've got 1 timeout left is all Concordia has. So at best, they might be able to get the ball back with just a few seconds left. I don't think it's possible even at this point. Spartans will just run a couple of plays. They could even just hang on to the ball on 4th down and just let it run out. Well, in the meantime, Chris, how about some of the upcoming games as basketball season kicks off here soon?
Well, live on AU TV, women's basketball versus Judson County, 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, November 21st, and then again on Tuesday, November 21st, men's basketball.
Here we go, 2nd down. This is Anthony Armstrong to the outside. A flag flies. Well, that's one way for them not to have to use a timeout. 40. Well, a few more seconds perhaps ran off the clock. They're 44 now on the scoreboard. Officials are going to, there you see the flag. Officials are going to talk things over.
And the Benedictine-Greenville game, Benedictine's winning 27-24. Greenville just scored.
Oh,
minute 47 left.
Minute 47 left, 27-24. Now that one's a little tighter to say the least, huh?
2 good games today for Illini-Badger Conference football.
Well, there you go. That penalty was against the Spartans. They declined it, so it's 3rd down. So now the Spartans will run a play. They'll call timeout. The clock starts to run. The Spartans will just probably stand here and wait. I tell you what, if they just stood here, took a delay of game penalty, then ran one more, it wouldn't matter now, would it?
Well, it's
under 30 seconds. That's pretty much it right here. Handoff. Mylan Jones going to get to about the 10-yard line. They call timeout immediately. 17 seconds remaining. So it'll be 4th down and about 5. The Spartans will run a play. Depending on the length of that play, they'll get the football back maybe with just a few seconds left, like I said before. Well, there's some more things to tune into here on Channel 17.
So that's my show, Spartan Spotlight, Thursday, November 9th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, November 10th at 7:30 p.m. I'm looking to have Coach Scott on the show after this big, huge win here. Always good to have him on. Been having him on the past couple of weeks because big playoff fever's in the Air Force team.
Again, barring a miracle indeed, playoff fever, the Spartans will be playing again on November 18th. A first-round playoff game somewhere. I say somewhere because the school did not put in to host. So they will go on the road somewhere for the first-round game.
And I know the Spartan fans would have liked to see a game here, a playoff game here at home. I know the coaching staff would, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to be in our future. It's just something that we're going to have to deal with, I guess.
Well, is that a hint right there? Start the bus up? Get a shot of the Concordia bus right there. And Spartan's starting to sense it. You see they're getting a little antsy on the sidelines as well.
Coach Scott.
17 seconds to go. 4th down and 5. Here we go, Aurora U. Looking to run one more play. Rolling to the left. Meyer's going to keep it himself. He's got some blockers out there. Oh, he slips and falls, so he'll be short of the 1st down. Clock will stop with 11 seconds to go. Concordia will get maybe 1 or 2 desperation plays. So this is it. Well,
this is what everyone has their heart beating so fast for.
We saw what Northwestern and Minnesota last week. That was a 50-yard Hail Mary. And Doug Flutie's done it before at Boston College many, many years ago, but I don't think I've ever seen it at the D3 level, and I don't want to see it right now.
Either do I. He might be able to throw far, but he's going to have a lot of defensive backs out there to deal with.
Well, the Spartans go, like you say, way into the major prevent defense. There are 3 down linemen. Linebackers are 10 yards downfield. Everybody's way back. Kip Daniels is the center fielder way in the back. They got 90 yards to go. Rolling, dumps it out to the right-hand side, and he can't even get out of bounds. Slips and falls to Paulin. clock still runs, and that's going to do it. The Spartans have won it.
The Spartans are going to the playoffs. What a great field there today.
Aurora U celebrates the 2000 Illini-Badger Conference champions, Aurora University. Allen could not, I don't know why he didn't just catch it and just step out of bounds, but I think they had something else, perhaps a lateral or something that they were going to try on that play, and he just lost his footing, fell down right there, and he couldn't roll out of bounds even, and the clock continued to run and ran out on it.
And I feel like the next week is going to be a great week for AU sports. There's going to be a lot of great talk there.
Oh, indeed, the Spartans will head into Valparaiso as conference champions again. Final there you see it, Aurora U 21, Concordia 14. The Spartans now 7-2 on the season. Concordia falls to 7-2. And it's all just a moot point and anything else. The Spartans are the outright conference champions and third consecutive season. Undefeated, 21 in a row now and counting. And they are going to be in the playoffs come November 18th.
And that Benedictine game, where they probably won by now, just doesn't mean anything.
Indeed. So, a happy group of Spartans will gather at the south end zone. Concordia heads down. A great season. A little disappointing for them right now as they meet near midfield. And right, Chris, boy, we knew it was going to be a battle, and it turned into just that type of game here today.
We were talking about this from week one, and it turned into the battle that we thought it was going to be, and it was just a great game.
All right, well, we are going to take a break here on Channel 17 and come back and wrap this thing up. Again, the Spartans win it 21-14. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Tell me, Monster, what did you wish for? I wish that all of you out there will do your best not to waste energy. And I wish that you'll remind others in a nice way how important not wasting energy is in improving our environment.
That was some wishing.
Please don't waste energy.
All right, back here live at Aurora University. I'm Steve Moga along with Chris Klavinsky and our director Matt Neller. Operations manager Nadine Martinez here on Channel 17 as you see the Spartans huddling up, and also Julie McLean was at the helm directing today as you've got some of the stats there. Chris Klavinsky.
First downs, Aurora 25, Concordia 8. Rushing yards, Concordia ran 20 times and only got 27 yards. Aurora ran 77 times for 273 yards. Passing yards, 146 for Concordia. And this is a huge passing team, and they couldn't get anything done today. And Aurora had 131. Their quarterbacks went 10 for 20 with one interception. Our quarterbacks went 11 for 19 with one interception. So our quarterbacks were a little bit better today. And
well, you're not kidding.
Total offense, they had the ball 40 plays, 173 yards. Aurora, 96 plays, 404 yards. 96 plays is a huge number, and that's got to be close to tying some sort of record at least.
Well, you're not kidding. That might be the most plays a Spartan team has run in a game. Huh? 96 plays, 404 yards. We did to them what they've been doing to everybody else this year. They came in averaging 418, and they get only 173. And the 146 you mentioned in passing is well below their average in passing yards. The Spartans just dominating defense today.
And offense might be a fun game to have, but defense wins the games. And that was proven a fact today. In time possession, Concordia had the ball for 20 minutes, 36 seconds. Aurora had it for 39 minutes, 24 seconds. Time of possession played a big part of this game. Wore down their defense, and we were able to do what we needed to do. And we had 4 sacks for our offense, and they only had 2. For rushing, Mylan Jones, 29 rushes, 123 yards, got another 100-yard rushing game. Congratulations to him. Our leading receiver today was, let's see here, Tyson LeBlanc, 448 yards. Cal Schrader, 3 for 11 yards. Paulie Forsythe, 2 for 23 yards. Anthony Armstrong, 1 catch, 33 yards. Joe Schmidt, 1 catch, 16 yards. Interceptions, Craig Vervetter, he got that 1 interception, that important interception in the 4th quarter. We had an attendance of 1,100 people here today. Kickoff time was at 1 and we ended at about 4 o'clock.
Right on the money, 3-hour game, and doesn't matter how long it took, just as long as it was a big win. The Spartans coming through, and well, those 96 plays are just short of a record for this particular field here at AU. 99 plays were run against Simpson back in 97. But at any rate, the Spartans are champions. Well, Chris, I want to thank you. It's been a fun football season. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a chance to do this here in late November another time.
Hopefully.
Spartans will continue on in the playoffs and maybe get a home game.
It's been a pleasure being here. Otherwise, you'll hear us on basketball games.
Indeed, basketball coming up here on Channel 17 in the coming weeks. Hopefully you'll tune in for that then, and we thank you for tuning in now. Again, the Spartans there, you see it, 21-14 winners over Concordia College of Wisconsin. The 2000 Illini-Badger Conference champions the Spartans are, and they will go into the postseason after they play one more game at Valpo next weekend. They will start the playoffs, the 18th team, time, place, all that stuff to be determined yet, and I'll try and keep you posted on that. Chris Glavinsky, you certainly will do that on Spartan Spotlight.
I'll make sure to keep everyone informed on how the Spartans are doing in playoffs, where they're playing, when they're playing, and I'll do all that on Spartan Spotlight.
All right, well, thanks again for watching, and as we go off the air here, take a look at our crew today who did a great job, as usual, bringing you Spartan football. So long, everybody.
Through 12/31/2000. Good on any future shopping trips. Some exclusions apply.